When you made that phone call, your Yankees were 10 games over 500. Your Yankees looked great. Your Yankees were a lock for the postseason in this shortened season. Not anymore, they're not. What's happened since then? You go right into the tank. Not only do you go into the tank, but that's where you live. You are paying rent there. You lose 15 of 20. That matches your worst stretch in the last 2 decades. That's Yankee baseball right now. A team that was cruising early on, all of a sudden is holding on to that final gimmicky 8th playoff spot in the American League with less than 20 games to go. And you know what? You left out one thing. I said you nailed that thing perfectly and completely. You left out one thing. I love that Brian Cashman took that rare road trip to see his guys before the game as if Cash could somehow talk them out of this tailspin. Like, understand this about Cash. He doesn't do things like this. We're not talking about like Billy being a money ball, threatening the A's with a Louisville slugger and demanding that they stop bumping tunes after a loss. We're talking about a dude who firmly believes in leaving the clubhouse to the skipper. According to guys on that beat, reporters, Cash had not had this kind of talk with the team in more than a decade. Except, as you point out, desperate times call for desperate measures. So this guy heads up the highway to Western New York yesterday to see if he might get his guys to pull their heads out of their backsides. Best part of that is he wanted to have that talk on Monday morning, not on Tuesday. But because this is 2020, the Toronto Blue Jays of Canada play in Buffalo of the U.S., at a minor league ballpark, and there is no visitors clubhouse. So where is Cash going to tell his guys to pull their heads out of their backsides? A makeshift tent in the parking lot. All right, that's fine. It's 2020. Yeah, it was fine until he got there and realized it was too windy, and that if he was going to make this impassioned speech, they would not be able to hear a word he was saying because of the tarp that was blowing in the wind. So we had to delay it until yesterday. That's a real thing. Didn't work either. They got beat again.
We've just been playing like crap.
That's Luke Voigt. Hey, look, how you guys been playing? Like crap?
We've just been playing like crap.
Dell semi-annual sale was on with 45% off business laptops and desktops with Intel Core processors, along with servers and electronics, all with free shipping. Be sure you speak to a Dell Technologies advisor at 877-ASK-DELL, 877-ASK-DELL, or visit Dell.com/business deals. Well, that's a show. Kenny Clark, PJ Washington, Devon Kennard, me, the What's Your Beef segment, and a podcast episode with Drew Hanlon coming up a little bit later on. Look for that. See you. We're out.
Texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Message and data rates may apply.
Man, it's great to be out running with you again, but you have so much energy now. What have you been up to?
You know, everything that's been going on in the last few months really made me think about life and how I want to be the best I can be. So, one thing I did was start taking Nugenix Total T, and it's made a huge difference for me.
Nugenix, that's the testosterone booster you see on TV, right?
Yeah, it's an amazing product. The patented ingredient is Testofen, which helps boost free testosterone levels and increase lean muscle mass. Nugenix is a great way to boost lean muscle and feel stronger with more energy and endurance. More passion, too.
And so is there a way I can get one of those complimentary bottles so I can try it for myself?
Yep, all you have to do is send them a text. Text BREAK to 42424 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T, the #1 selling free testosterone booster at GNC. Nugenix samples are not available in stores, so text BREAK to 42424 right now. Text BREAK to 42424. That's BREAK to 42424.
Do you think you or your employees might have been exposed to COVID-19? ArcPoint Labs of Greenville offers same-day COVID-19 results. No referral needed. Same-day results available. ArcPoint Labs of Greenville offers easy employer solutions to COVID-19 testing. ArcPoint Labs of Greenville is located across from Vidant Hospital on Executive Circle behind Southern Bank. Call for an appointment or walk in. ArcPoint Labs of Greenville, 215-5688 or arcpointlabs.com.
Great food, great atmosphere, and great service is Ottavola Market Cafe. Ottavola is simply a restaurant that focuses on that, being a great restaurant. There's something for everyone at Ottavola. The menu offers a variety of great choices like pastas, pizzas, sandwiches, soups, salads, and seasonal rotating selections. Lunch or dinner, Ottavola is always the right call. Call ahead and get Ottavola to go, or stop by the bar for a drink with friends. It's simple. Come and eat at Ottavola Market Cafe, Red Banks Road next to Food Lion, and OttavolaMarket.com. Ottavola, pirates supporting pirates.
It's time to get back in the saddle with Rocking Horse Ranch. Join us Saturday, November 14th for an evening filled with games and prizes to support the reopening of the Rocking Horse Ranch Therapeutic Riding Program. Rocking Horse Ranch provides a fun and unique therapy program to our special needs, cancer, and veterans community. The horses miss their favorite students and can't wait to see them again soon. And Rocking Horse cannot do this without you. Join us November 14th to get back in the saddle or visit rhrnc.com for more information.
Let us help you get back to business.
This is Donald Stocks
And Justin Judge of PIP of Eastern North Carolina.
We're ready to assist your business with branded PPE. Would you like face masks with your logo? We can do that. Plus custom social distancing signage.
Now is the time to ramp up your marketing efforts. Whether it's cutting edge, contactless, touchless marketing, or traditional direct mail, we can do it all.
We are PIP of Eastern North Carolina.
Got big dreams for your small business? You're not alone. The Gavigan Agency Insurance Services is a growing business too. That's why they work with Nationwide, the #1 small total business insurer in the U.S. Nationwide can help protect and grow your business so you can focus on making your small business dreams come true. Give the Gavigan Agency Insurance Services a call today at 252-756-1400. Nationwide is on your side.
Nationwide Mutual Insurance Company and Affiliates, Columbus, Ohio. Subject to underwriting guidelines, review, and approval.
Great news, amigos. Chico's Dine-In Service is back open every day. Come and enjoy favorites like shrimp tacos, steak and chicken fajitas, burritos, enchiladas, ACP, and more. Chico's is still offering to-go and curbside service as well by calling 757-1666. Don't forget to stock up on Chico's famous margarita mix for only $9.99 per half gallon. Follow Chico's on Facebook and Instagram for daily updates. For Mexican food and fun, it's got to be Chico's for dine-in or to-go.
Buying a vehicle should be a fun experience and not one where you're bounced around from person to person. This is Mary from the Auto Store Group, and we offer an honest, no-pressure, hometown store approach to selling vehicles. The Auto Store Group has 3 locations and over 150 quality used vehicles to choose from. Shop our entire inventory at theautostoregroup.com. And remember, every purchase comes with a free bucket of fun. The Auto Store Group, pirate-owned and operated for over 38 years. Start shopping today for your next vehicle at theautostoregroup.com.
When you don't have time to go to lunch, let Jimmy John's deliver lunch to you. With Jimmy John's, we can get a freaky fresh sandwich to you freaky fast. Click to order at jimmyjohns.com. Dinner's great. It's one of your top 3 favorite meals. You just don't want to have to make it. Well, with Jimmy John's, you don't have to. Whether you live in a sandwich delivery zone or head into the store, you can always get a freaky fresh sandwich. Click to order at jimmyjohns.com.
This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, 1250 and 92.7 FM Greenville, WDLX Washington, 930 and 104.1 FM Washington. The following is an exclusive presentation of Pirate Radio, the voice of the pirate nation. Welcome to Pirate Radio Live.
You can paint this with purple.
Now live from the Pirate Radio studios in the heart of the pirate nation, here is your host, Clip Brock.
Hello everyone, welcome in to a Wednesday edition of Pirate Radio Live. Clip Brock here inside the Pirate Radio studios and live on Pirate Radio 92.7 FM in Greenville, 104.1 in Washington, 1250, 930, live online at pr927fm.com. And you can also find us on Facebook Live and YouTube Live. And check out today's show. Got a lot of in-studio guests on the way, including at 4 o'clock. We've got Week 1 NFL, Week 2 college football, and everything in between to discuss with Wager McGhee. It was fun talking golf and NASCAR and MMA for a little while there, but we've got real sports back, and we'll discuss it coming up in the 4 o'clock hour from a gambling perspective with Wager. Coming up at 5 o'clock, the voice of the Pirates, Jeff Charles, will join us on the Fixed NC Live line, and former ECU tight end Bryce Williams will be here inside the Pirate Radio studios. We'll hear what Mike Houston had to say yesterday following practice at his most recent Zoom call with the media. So we got that coming your way as well on today's show. And we will kick it off with Jonathan Ellerbe live here inside the Pirate Radio studios. Hello, Ellerbe.
Hey, Clip. How are you doing, man?
I am doing great. I'm pumped up. I'm still awaiting that September 26th date when ECU and UCF can go at it at Dowdy-Ficklin Stadium. Looking forward to a full day of coverage on the Bud Light pregame tailgate and the U.S. Sailor fifth quarter call-in show. But it's, you have an appetizer every now and then with your meal, right? It's nice to have these appetizer games.
It is. I mean, we're 17 days away from East Carolina football, but you're open there where you were talking about real sports being back. The NFL starting on Thursday, full slate of games Sunday and Monday night. Things are starting to feel a little bit more normal, and I think once we get a week of NFL football officially under our belt, because, I mean, the college football has kind of been a slow dribble, of a game here, a game there, but I think when the NFL gets underway, and then that September 26th, it's going to be huge because, hopefully East Carolina and UCF are going to play that day, but that's when the SEC is going to kick off.
Yep.
So there's just going to be, I think that's when, I think as we roll into October, things could be really wide open and back to more of a sports normal than we've seen in quite some time.
We got a ton of football to talk about today, but Ellerbe, I guess we'll begin with basketball. The top story of the day, and it's a long shot, but follow along. It's fun to think about. So the ACC coaches have got together and voted unanimously on an all-inclusive NCAA tournament. That means every Division I college basketball team in the NCAA tournament. Now, to go along with this, it appears that they're pushing for very little or no non-conference games for the 2020-2021 season. Due to the coronavirus, you play your conference games, you have your conference tournament, you have a conference champion. But the ACC, Kay and Roy and everybody in between, has voted on and said that there should be an all-inclusive NCAA tournament, Ellerbe. What are your thoughts on that?
Man, has COVID gone crazy in the ACC? I mean, have they thought about what they said? I mean, I like it, but in college basketball, there's 300 some teams. And to me, I guess it kind of, if everybody's in the tournament, everybody gets a participation trophy. I guess if they're good, you can win the conference. And I guess an ACC conference title means something to Kay and Roy. But does it mean anything to win the Sun Belt now? Or are you just really playing exhibition games until you get to a chance at the tournament?
I don't think. What do you mean to play in the Sun Belt? Their goal is to make the tournament anyway.
I know, but everybody's going to make the tournament.
Great. So their goal is accomplished.
So, but I mean, are you do you approach it, if you're certain teams, do you approach it like the NBA where you rest players and...
is there going to be some load management going on for teams?
I mean, seriously. I mean, if you're, what's the ultimate prize is to win the national title.
Yeah,
and at some point, if you drop back to the middle of the pack of the ACC, then you're just, or whatever tournament you're in, you're just going to just kind of start waiting to play for the ACC tournament.
No, you hear it every year from coaches. They want to be playing their best ball at the end of the year for what? Their conference tournament run to try to get in the NCAA tournament. So I don't think it would change that much as far as preparation and teams. I think teams would be playing even harder because they know there's an ultimate goal at the end, and they're going to have a shot just like everybody else.
I guess the big factor is I like the idea. That's the idea. Hey, every team gets in the NCAA tournament, but how is it executed?
And how are we going to fit all the brackets on the door?
Yes.
How big is the bracket going to be? I don't know where to begin.
Has a 64 seed ever upset a 1 seed?
Man, look, it's not going to happen.
Right.
I don't think it's going to happen.
Are college sports trying to go all inclusive? Let's do that. I mean, can we transition that over to college football some too?
No. Never. There's Power 5 and non-Power 5, Ellerbe, and it'll always be that way. Now, I was reading the article on this, and Mark Emmert from the NCAA has come out and said that they are trying to formulate a plan of like a tournament bubble, but there's already been talks of a bubble environment for a tournament with fewer than 68 teams. So, that has been discussed to have maybe a 32-team tournament or a 16 or something like that. Now the ACC says, wait, no, we're going bigger and better and bigger. And, so who knows how it's all going to work out. It is interesting that they all came together and decided on this. And again, Ellerbe, it's in conjunction with potentially no or way fewer non-conference games.
Yeah, the other first thing that came right to my mind, if I'm a college basketball coach, I am sprinting to my computer and printing my contract and looking at the bonus I get for making the NCAA tournament.
Oh, Joe Dooley's has to be huge, right?
Yeah, I mean, does this matter? I mean, like every college coach has got to be, heck yeah, bonus for making the NCAA tournament.
So now all the schools are going to go even more broke because they're having to pay these coaches for their tournament bonuses.
How did we ever agree to give someone $100,000 if they made the NCAA tournament, and then everybody makes it? What a brilliant! I mean, like,
you want to talk about madness?
I wonder how many. That would be a cool. Out of the 300 schools, what is the total of bonuses for making the NCAA tournament?
Ellerbe's always got finances in mind. That is a very good question.
It's just something because you always have these. You love the what's his name at UConn, Randy Edsall.
Oh, Randy Edsall, yeah, Mr. Bonus.
He's the king of bonuses on third down percentage and all this other stuff. But I did think of like, God, there are some coaches that are going to trigger some bonuses, and heck, there might even be some ADs that get some bonuses.
I found that pretty fascinating, and we'll see if anything comes of it. If there is an expanded tournament, what it means for the non-conference basketball schedule. But it sounds like, Ellerbe, and I remember talking about this back in April and May. Like, we want to hear ideas and plans from these leagues, from these organizations, right? On not all the problems, but solutions and how you're going to play. I feel like there's been some proactive talk when it comes to college basketball.
Well, in college basketball, the one thing, I mean, if the college coaches, the one thing that the money in college basketball is in the tournament. That generates so much money for the sport of college. I mean, it's really why the NCAA exists, because they have so much money with their TV partners, CBS and Turner, through the tournament. So
Coach K said they couldn't survive without missing back-to-back tournaments.
Which is funny to me that they're talking about the end of the season. How do they pull off the end of the season versus what's a plan to start the season? It is just kind of, to me, that's kind of interesting. Hey, look, that's the big pot of gold at the end of the rainbow right there. But you got to play for some nuggets along the way before you get there. Yeah. And how is college basketball look with no fans? I mean, Cameron Indoor with no fans.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Stuff like that. That is a potential as college basketball could start. And the bubble idea for college basketball. Can you do that with student athletes? I mean, granted, I understand that a lot of their classes could be online, but is it feasible? I mean, does it make sense?
Wait, you're talking about with class and things like that?
Yeah, I mean,
we're going to kind of pretend that matters?
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, maybe so. But I mean, where do you create this bubble? Who do you invite to certain bubbles? How do you make the bubbles even?
Well, speaking of bubbles, and this is, we're talking postseason, all those preseason tournaments. Remember ECU was playing in a hotel lobby last year?
Yeah, the Bahamas.
Yeah. Shirley, wasn't it? They were talking about moving the Maui Invitational to Asheville. I think we had talked about.
Yeah, and I can't remember the name of the place right off the top of my head, but there was discussion that was one of the places that was emerging as one of the contenders for the bubble.
Yeah, Asheville in December, Maui in December.
Maui, Asheville.
It's all, yeah. But they're talking about doing those preseason tournament bubbles as well, Ellerbe. And, we'll I don't know. I'm glad they're at least talking about ideas and potentially having these things rather than writing it off completely.
I love the ideas, and I love people talking about it, but at some point you have to push forward with a decision of like, here's what we're going to do. Yeah. And the whole thing...
Well, isn't that easier to do with basketball than it is football, because you actually have, the NCAA has a say in it, whereas college football, there's no say from anybody.
All the schools kind of I mean, I just kind of hope we get to a point where there is some really major reform in college athletics of, hey, look, let's look at this thing and what's going to be a system and formula that works good for all teams moving forward. And they have to come up with a game plan to make this this realistic before if they just like, hell, we survived the year and a half of COVID, now we're back to business as usual, then that's going to leave a lot of people behind, and maybe a lot of even some of the power schools not able to recover from it. So I think we have to look more year to year and more regional to the world of college sports, and still take advantage of television, because there's still a huge entrance in people watching college athletics. But I just feel like some of the dollars and cents don't make dollars and cents anymore.
Ellerbe here inside the Pirate Radio studios. Ellerbe, speaking of fans and college basketball, how about fans and college football, fans in the NFL? It's been a frustrating topic for Pirate fans and all fans inside the state of North Carolina that nobody's going to be at Dowdy-Ficklin Stadium on the 26th of September. Yet, for example, today LSU comes out and says they will have a 25% capacity at Tiger Stadium. That would allow 25,580, which would be, over half of full at Dowdy-Ficklin Stadium. NFL-wise, you've got the Chiefs kicking off tomorrow night. They're going to have like 17,000 at Arrowhead. No fans in Washington at FedEx Field. No fans at Bank of America. So Major League Baseball came out with a blanket no fans.
Right.
NFL, I think, is doing it better, where if your state allows it and you allow it, then you can have fans in the stadium. It's going to lead to frustration for fans that can't get in there, but this is something moving forward that I hope, Ellerbe, we can see some fans at Dowdy-Ficklin Stadium. It's interesting, the Broncos are going no fans for their season opener, but have already announced in late September they're going to have a few thousand fans in the stands. So, what's going to be different a few weeks from now? I don't know, but I hope that's a trend that we could see continue.
So on September 26th at 3:30, let's just say that's the kickoff time for East Carolina UCF. How many people do you think across the state of North Carolina are going to be in a Lowe's, a Walmart, and a Target?
Thousands and thousands.
I mean, just lots of people. I mean, none of this makes any sense of the crowds, and then you see a large stadiums out here, and I just feel like there's a safer and a smarter way to percentage this thing out, where you could have fans in the stands, and college sports do not work at all on any model with no fans in the stands. Yeah. And we've seen that in the last few years when there have been allowed to have fans in the stands, and attendance has just been bad, and how much money East Carolina's been losing because the attendance has been so bad. So
don't get me wrong, I love college football, but it was odd Monday night watching the Navy BYU game.
I think it's going to have a factor on these college games, because I think the crowds provide a lot more energy and home crowd advantage for the home teams, or even energy for the away teams during certain games, versus the pros where the guys are earning a paycheck. I mean, they're out there earning a game check. So, I mean, they should be able to self-motivate themselves, where I think where if a college kid has not run out into an atmosphere like that before, I think we could see a lot of sloppy college football coming up the next few weeks, and just a lot of blowouts of what happened on Monday night. The NFL stuff, I think to me, that's one of the huge storylines of watching the games this weekend. And the post games of when they interview the players and coaches, what do you think of without the fans or the minimal fans? I think that's going to be a big storyline.
And will there be as much like celebrating and stuff? Because a lot of players they make a big play, they hear the roar, and they immediately react and celebrate. If there's crickets, you just like run back to the huddle, or I don't know. I think it's going to look different in a lot of regards.
Yeah, I don't know this or who the Packers open up with. Do you do a Lambeau leap if nobody's in the stadium?
That could hurt if nobody's there to catch you.
If nobody's there to catch,
that's a good point.
I mean, there's no terrible towels.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm trying to think of some of like the bigger traditions of people that just like.
And did the Raiders guys go to LA?
The black hole?
Go from LA to Vegas with them, Oakland to Vegas.
How do you their stadium looks incredible.
Is there no black hole?
That stadium and the LA stadium. I mean, what a unbelievable $1 billion of projects there that are going to be empty. I mean, it's just bizarre. It's just, I mean, this whole, obviously, don't have to recap where we've been the last 6 months, but I mean, I think that aspect of it, of seeing pro sports, Because college sports, I think when they go into Death Valley at LSU and they have 25,000 fans there, that is going to be crazy. I mean, it's just going to be some odd looking, and I wonder how much the television partners are going to zoom out and focus on the lack of fans being there.
Yeah, I would stay away from those camera shots. It would just depress the people watching and everything.
But will they get some good one if you're in there? I mean, I guess you have a good chance of getting some FaceTime.
Oh yeah, if there are fans in there, you're going to get on TV. Make your sign so it can be read. So what do you think, Ellerbe? Do you think October games at Dowdy Ficklen Stadium have fans in them? Maybe I'm being way too optimistic, glass half full. I just feel like we're going to move towards more fans in stadiums.
So the limit right now is 50 for outdoor. I mean, right. The election's not till November 3rd. So October 17th is going to be the next ECU home game against Navy. So how can we jump from where we are now to I mean, how does if you're Governor Cooper, do you jump from a 50 number to a thousands of number?
So you're saying, judging off the lack of increase rate and what he's allowed, that it won't happen.
We went from 25 to 50.
Yeah. So by that time we could be to about 130.
It just doesn't bode well that if you're getting a 25-cent raise every other month, you're just not going to get rich that fast. And how does he make a drastic decision to go into thousands before the election without bringing on so much criticism too? Because you have to think that politics has to come into play too.
Yeah.
And unless they do some sort of special exemption for these large venues like Dowdy Ficklen Stadium, Bank of America Stadium, Keenan, Carter Finley, and they say, hey, look, okay, we've done some study. We've talked to the health directors, and we're going to allow 25%. They presented these plans where they're going to have zones in the stadium, and you can spread out and have X number of people based on the capacity of the facility. So if that's the case, then that's the only way I think I see fans in the stands when it comes to that Navy game.
Mike has chimed in. He is anti-living on a prayer and says, since it's spread by droplets, no need for thousands of people to sing Living on a Prayer at the same time. Perfect time to exit. So he is using the COVID crisis to get rid of Living on a Prayer at Dowdy Ficklen Stadium.
Well, I think with no fans, I mean, you don't really do the no quarter either. I mean, there's just a lot of things you just kind of. I mean, why would you really do? I mean, I don't think they're having a cannon on the field. I mean, there's just a lot of the things that. I mean, it's just going to be kind of a spring game environment inside the stadium, with the exception that you're playing.
It's going to show you how much more we enjoy the things around the actual game than just the game itself.
Well, it's called sports entertainment for a reason. It doesn't go all the way to the wrestling aspect.
Well, that's wrestling, isn't it?
I know, but it is sports entertainment. When you go to a game, you go to be entertained. I mean, they don't invest all these giant scoreboards for replays and, they honor teams, do things. I mean, they entertain you while you're there. And because there's a lot of people that go to the game for the complete social aspect of it.
Yeah. Tailgating and all that.
A lot of people that don't even go into the stadium, or a lot of people that'll just go, but like, oh yeah, Clip, I'll go with you, and I'll go drink a few beers with you and watch the Pirates play, and really don't have a rooting
interest. And they get there, and who are they playing?
Right.
Who's number 80?
And if the game's good, they get engaged. So, I mean, those are kind of some of the funnest games to go to. I do that when I go to a Falcons game with my brother-in-law. I mean, I like the Falcons.
You just watch people the whole time, don't you?
It is great people watching at NFL games, and I mean, it is just kind of relaxing not to really have like a
vested interest,
a diehard interest. Yeah. Now, if it comes down to the end and the Falcons crowd, I've seen some exciting, thrilling games in both the new domes and the old dome down there. But I mean, it's just that part of it it's become sports entertainment. I'm there spending money, hanging out, having fun as a sports fan, but I'm really there to be more entertained.
It's kind of how I feel about the Hurricanes. Like, I get jacked up when they win. I've gone to a couple games, but if they lose, like, oh, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
It doesn't bother me.
Yeah. I mean, it literally, the switch goes, I mean, it's like, all right, oh, where do we park again?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. There's nothing more exciting than a hockey game in person.
Yeah.
But same thing. Then the Wood Ducks, they do an awesome job over there in Kinston. But I don't think I've ever gone there with an expectation for them to win. But I've had some of the best baseball experiences ever at the Wood Duck Stadium over there in Granger Stadium. I mean, it's just a fun place to go watch sports.
Ellerbe, you brought a book. Are we going to do a story time today? What's that? that?
So sit back, relax the next 2.5 hours. No. Coach Mac McCarthy has written a book. I believe you had him on your show here talking about it, and I got my copy today, and I look forward to reading it. If you know Coach Mac, or you remember Coach Mac as a coach here at East Carolina, you can go to his website, macmccarthy.com, and get you a copy today. That is where he's selling these books, and I'm looking forward to it. The title of the book, What I'm About to Tell You is the Truth, or Could Be, My Accidental Career Path. Mac McCarthy. So Coach Mac, a great person and a great personality, and I look forward to it. Charles Barkley wrote the foreword. ECU basketball player Sam Hennett has a little plug on the back of what he thought of Coach Mac. So got a good section of ECU in here. I think I saw you thumb through it. So Mac McCarthy's story is my next project here. I look forward to reading it, and then I may get Mac on for a podcast to talk about his book.
That'd be cool. A very interesting and funny fella, that Mac McCarthy. What else is going on with you, Ellerbe? You watch Cobra Kai yet?
I have not watched Cobra Kai. Troy D's all about it.
Yeah, I got him on it.
He got him. I have not made the switch to that, but it is this weekend has some potential to catch up on some potential stuff like that. But I am excited about NFL football and some more college games, and kind of diving into how this thing's going to play out this season.
Yeah, we got a ton of football to talk about with Wager McGhee coming up, a full slate of games. Although the thing I don't like to see, Ellerbe, is games dropping. And surely we had one today, I think this morning, old Skip.
Yeah, La Tech.
And Louisiana Tech will not be playing against Baylor. And then I sent Shirley a tweet last night. What game was that, Shirley? Let me find it real quick.
I'm looking for it myself.
that had dropped, because we're trying to keep you up to date.
It was buried under all my other stuff. Hang on. Yeah, it was the Louisiana Tech Baylor game.
It was that game?
Yeah.
So that was last night. Okay, so that game will not be played this weekend, but you got the ACC kicking off, Ellerbe. We'll have Gibby, Bailey's man, Todd Gibson, coming up Thursday on the show to break down the ACC action beginning this week, including North Carolina and Syracuse, Duke, Notre Dame. Notre Dame will have the ACC painted on the field there in South Bend. I saw them working on that.
Is that a step? Is that a part of the process?
I think it's a 1 year.
Can Notre Dame just stay that arrogant and stay? I mean, or will COVID eventually break the straw that says, hey, look, it doesn't financially work? And does NBC say, hey, it doesn't? You're not going to be able to get games anymore? You know, who knows?
That's a good point.
So,
college game day in Winston-Salem for Clemson, Wake Forest. That's coming up Saturday night. So, and then on Sunday we've got NFL action. We got NFL Thursday night, Chiefs Texans. Shirley, what is our Sunday lineup? Did you say you got that now?
Yeah, hang on one second. Let's see. First game we'll have is the Falcons Seahawks. Chargers at Bengals will be the late afternoon game, and then the nightcap will be the Rams hosting the Cowboys.
How about them Cowboys, Rams and boys, coming up on Sunday night?
Who's the Washington team open up with?
The Washington football team plays the Philadelphia Football Eagles.
Have they come out with anything? Are they hail to the Washington football team? Are they dropping all that stuff?
Nah, we don't have any. I don't think we have a fight song currently.
Has Dan Snyder put the team for sale yet?
Dan Snyder's he's in litigation. He's in courtrooms all day right now. So I don't know.
Maybe you could do the Dan Snyder lawyers, the Washington lawyers or something.
Washington lawmen, judges. I don't know. Friday on the show, Rick Smith going to join me inside the Pirate Radio studios. That'll be fun. Also, can we make the announcement about the fifth quarter?
Sure, absolutely.
Rick Smith going to be a part of the U.S. Sailor fifth quarter call-in show this year, so we will get immediate action from me, you callers, and the old coach, Rick Smith, following every ECU football game this season.
Question of the week for Rick Smith. What does he think the point spread will be for UCF ECU? What was the consensus over the last few weeks?
Everybody had it. I don't know if anybody actually hit 20. I think it was under 20.
In the teens?
For most, yeah. And everybody had the caveat of depends on what happens in Georgia Tech at the Georgia Tech game for UCF. But I think that they win that game, and I think they're pretty big. I think they come in here. I laid out a whole plan, Ellerbe. They come in here ranked like 13th, 12th in the nation after blowing out Georgia Tech, and that game is on ABC on the 26th.
What time? That was my question of the week. What time do you think the ECU CF game will be, and what time do you want it to be?
It's going to be 3:30 on ABC.
3:30 on ABC.
Yes. That lovely time slot.
You're looking live at Dowdy-Ficklin Stadium.
Or it could be on ESPN Plus at 11 a.m.
I don't think it'll be on the Plus.
Yeah, I think we'll get a look. Tulane this week has a 7:30 ESPN2 game with South Alabama. Now, by the time we get to the 26th, there will be more teams playing.
Right.
I hate that we missed this window because we'd have got some amazing TV times, Ellerbe.
Absolutely. I kind of wonder if we should shift like all this all the time. I mean, like some teams start playing early August and September. Other teams pick up October, November.
Again, you like to bring it up. What, the changes we see this year, which ones stick? Maybe that's something that sticks. So start playing earlier and earlier, or trying to, get that great TV spot that you're not going to get when the SEC and all those other schools are playing. I don't know.
I mean, there's a hunger for football. So can week 0? Can you have week -1 or 2? Like August 12th.
Yeah, we've gone to week 0. What's below it? Week -1. Pirates kicking it off.
My birthday's August 9th. When the ECU's playing a game on August the 9th, we will have arrived.
Well, I mean, look, we never thought you'd see the Kentucky Derby.
I know that was
in between college football games.
That was weird watching without fans, but it was also. It was cool that the Derby happened, and it was, the favorite didn't win either. So that was kind of cool. I did watch that.
November Masters is still going to mess with my brain a whole lot.
That is going to be an interesting Sunday with the Masters versus the NFL.
Yep.
That is going to be very, very interesting.
And we're in November then. Are we is that MLB playoffs? I don't know what the schedule is exactly, but there's going to be so much going on.
And it could be. And the one thing versus when it Masters in April versus Masters in November, it gets really dark early. So they're going to have to start. So the Masters it won't be the traditional 6 or 6:30 green jacket ceremony. It'll have to be they'll have to plan to finish around 4 o'clock at the latest so they can get to Butler Cabin.
Ryan says, as much as I hate to say it, I would love to hear fans singing Living on a Prayer in the FIC. Is Living on a Prayer, are you in the minority now if you like Living on a Prayer at Dowdy-Ficklin? I don't know. It's become a thing on this show.
We'll have to put that out as a poll question.
Yeah, put that out as a poll. All right, Ellerbe, thanks for hanging out to kick off today's show, man.
Yep. I'll be back next week. Still throwing out. Get Coach Mac's book, guys. MacMcCarthy.com. I'll give you a review here sooner than later.
Sounds good. All right, let's take a time out. We'll come back. More to go. We'll get our news items of the day. We've already gone over a few of those. Also coming up at 4 o'clock, got our buddy Wager McGhee to talk about all the football action this weekend. At 5, the voice Jeff Charles and Bryce Williams. And we got some Mike Houston cuts to play for you. Might do that on the other side as well. Talk some Pirate football here on Pirate Radio Live. We'll take a timeout, come back, got more for you after this.
Your CBD store in Greenville has the highest quality CBD products in the country. Your CBD store is the first and only brand that carries USDA certified organic products such as gummies, honey sticks, and high absorption water soluble liquids, which are all made in the United States. They even offer products for your pet. The educated staff will help you answer any questions, and you can stop in anytime to get a free sample. Your CBD store, locally owned and operated, open Monday through Saturday, 10 to 6, right beside Duck Donuts in Greenville.
How much does the word reliable mean? Sure, all businesses describe themselves as reliable, and we certainly wouldn't expect any business to be unreliable, but when you take a word like reliable and make it your way of life, the entire core of your business, it tends to mean a little more. And it's something you have to show people, not tell them. At Delcor, we show it by being there the same day you call. We show it by simply doing outstanding work with exceptional products, a family-oriented work ethic, and genuine caring for all of our neighbors throughout Eastern NC, because in a time of need, we know the first and the only thing you need is someone you can count on. That's why we only use equipment you can count on too, like a train comfort system. It's hard to stop a train. Delcor can have a new train comfort system installed in no time, or we can provide an AC tune-up to make sure your system is performing well. So will your system keep you cool all summer? Find out. Call us. We're Delcor, the service professionals, reliable for over 4 decades. Visit DelcorInc.com today.
With rates being historically low, now is the best time to buy or refinance your home. This is Talbot Green with Angel Oak Home Loans. Now is the time to take advantage of the opportunity to buy more home or refinance your current mortgage. The combination of our local team's experience and Angel Oak's wide offerings of products from standard conventional, government, and portfolio loans has something for most financial situations. For more information, call Talbot Green, Joanne Weir, or Wanda Hager at 751-2060.
NMLS 1719250 and 685842. Equal housing lender.
Warren's Hot Dog Pizza, homemade lemonade.
Hey, Pirate Nation, Warren's Hot Dogs 2 locations are open for business in Greenville and Chocowinity. Both locations have drive-through windows, so stop by today for hot dogs, pizzas, subs, apple and peach turnovers, homemade lemonade, and breakfast in Chocowinity, featuring homemade cheese, ham, and chicken biscuits, plus sausage dogs and more. Warren's in Greenville, across from Ron Ayers Motorsports, and in Chocowinity next to the fire department. Warren's Hot Dogs. Want some? Get some.
White Claw Hard Seltzer. Discover a new wave of refreshment. Crafted using seltzer water, 5% alcohol, and a hint of fruit. Available in 5 fruit flavors, 2 grams of carbs, gluten-free, and 100 calories. Find it at whiteclaw.com. White Claw Hard Seltzer. Nothing tastes quite like it. Please drink responsibly. Hard seltzer with natural flavors. White Claw Seltzer Works, 2019 Chicago. Visit whiteclaw.com for full nutritional information.
There have been many changes in the automotive world. At Phelps Chevrolet, the Phelps boys are here to take care of you. Mike, Daryl, and 4 of Mr. Phelps' grandsons, Wade, West, Allen, and Clay. You see, things at Phelps remain the same. The Phelps team has served Eastern North Carolina for over 50 years. We make your visit easy and fun. We are your neighbors, and that's what neighbors do. Phelps Chevrolet in Greenville. Like Mr. Phelps' great-granddaughter says, come in and get you one.
Over 32 years ago, the Ronald McDonald House of Eastern North Carolina opened its doors as a place to help families stay together and close to the care they need when they have a sick child. With the addition of a second Ronald McDonald House inside the Maynard Children's Hospital, our need to serve is greater than ever as the medical community flourishes. Help us expand our mission of keeping families close as we grow to meet that need. You can show your support by making a donation to the Ronald McDonald House. Visit our website today at rmhenc.org for more information. Thank you for your support.
This is Billy Weaver from WITN. You're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to Hour 1 of Pirate Radio Live. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Villa Verde on 10th Street and Villa Verde Dos by the hospital are open for you, serving unique and healthy dishes from the Dominican Republic. Order online at myvillaverde.com or the Villa Verde app. You can order a family meal that feeds 6 to 7 people, and they'll have it ready for curbside pickup today. Whether it's dine-in or take-out, Villa Verde is a platform for good. Now let's head back in to Pirate Radio Live. Here's your host, Clip Rock.
All right, back with you on a Wednesday edition of Pirate Radio Live. Still to come on today's show, Wager McGhee going to break down the college football NFL action going on beginning Thursday and this weekend. Also, Bryce Williams will be here inside the Pirate Radio studios. The voice, Jeff Charles, going to join us as well. Got a lot of Mike Houston cuts to get to, which we will do momentarily. Coming up on Thursday's edition of Pirate Radio Live, we'll talk to Todd Gibson for the Triangle, get an ACC report as they get underway this weekend with college football, and we'll break down all of that with Gibby coming up on Thursday's show. Stephen Igo will be in here. Troy D going to join me as well. Friday, looking forward to catching up with Rick Smith for the first time in a while. Morgan Ehlers set to join us. Also, Tony Dunn, CarolinaCatChronicles.com, will pick all of the NFL games coming up on Friday as we'll talk Panthers and more with Tony. So a lot more on the way this week on Pirate Radio Live. Also have a scheduled Zoom for tomorrow with a former Pirate. Spider, Travis Simmons, going to join me inside the Zoom room, of course, involved in one of the most famous plays in ECU football history. He had the tip that led to Van Eskridge's interception as ECU knocked off Houston in the Conference USA Championship. So looking forward to catching up with Spider later on this week. All right, I tell you what, Shirley, let's hear from Mike Houston as he talked yesterday to members of the media in a Zoom following ECU's football practice, and here were his opening comments.
pretty spirited practice today. I think being back in week 2 off of the pause, and also getting some little more comfortable weather. Those 2 factors, game day being closer, that factor, those are probably the reasons for it. But just a very spirited day, very highly competitive practice. I think the one thing I can say since the last time that we've talked is I feel like we've improved every day out there. Just pleased with the way the kids are working. We're starting to get in some better conditioning shape. We pushed through today without an interruption the entire practice. So it's we're getting a little bit better every day.
Mike Houston talked about the players, being spirited as the game day gets closer. And Shirley, we mentioned that yesterday, that it's still not close. We need it to be closer. The coaches, Mike Houston's ready for a game, but also he probably loves the extra practice time. You just hope the players can stay focused long enough and realize that they still have a few weeks left to go before they can get on the field.
Well, I don't think the focus part of it is going to be as much of an issue, because I think Mike Houston does a good job of keeping the players on task as far as what needs to be done on the practice field. And I think you're right with Mike Houston having that extra time to get his guys into football shape is going to be beneficial for the team, because I think, the more they practice, the more they do live tackling, because as we have seen,
yes,
not doing that has proven to, be the demise of some of these football teams. So getting all those reps in, getting the team comfortable with each other, and getting some of those players, especially with the depth chart, the way that it's set up, he needs to make sure that his 2s and 3s have as much reps as they can possibly get between now and then, because you never know what's going to happen between. I mean, we go from day to day, week to week, but what happens if somebody inadvertently picks up the virus and they can't play? Well, your 2nd tier and your 3rd tier players are going to have to be ready to go. So the more you can, the more time you have with your team, the better off I think you'll be.
Shirley, you mentioned the practice and the tackling at practice, and that was a big topic coming out of BYU's blowout win over Navy. There were reports that Navy, was not tackling at practice, and Mike Houston was actually asked about that yesterday. Cut 4, he was asked, is it possible to prepare your team for football games if you don't tackle at practice like Navy apparently was doing?
Not if you're going to play and keep score. I mean, that's my thing. I mean, we all each. But here's the one thing I'll say. I can't sit here and say anything about how another school's preparing during this time, because each one of us have been restricted. Not by what we want to do. We've been restricted by so many protocols with the state and local guidelines, and certainly we follow those protocols, and you try to go through and make sure we're following all the safety procedures and everything. But at the end of the day, here's the one thing I know: if we don't prepare for the sport to be played the way it's supposed to be, if we're not practicing with some physicality, having live action, then I think we're setting the kids up to be hurt, on game day. You've got to prepare to play the game the way it's supposed to be played on game day. The only way that I think you learn how to tackle is by tackling. The only way I think you learn how to block live bodies is by blocking live bodies, and it's got to be a full speed deal. Certainly you have to taper it, to make sure that you keep guys healthy, but you've got to also prepare them for success.
All right, Mike Houston there, and I'll bring this up with Bryce Williams in the 5 o'clock hour. And, our players anticipating physical practices like this in the month of September. Like, this sounds like the kind of stuff you do, I don't know, maybe in spring or in fall camp, but now you got teams tackling a practice in September, getting physical and trying to prepare for the season, like you said, Shirley, because if you don't prepare for game-like situations, that's how players get hurt out on the field.
Yeah, and with the fact that they didn't have a spring season, you're kind of having to push everything towards, and then of course with the pause, you just kind of, you're starting and stopping, you're stopping. So there's so many different things, and he's right. There's so many different protocols. There's so many different guidelines that they have to abide by. But the only way you're going to win a football game is to be able to play the game the way it needs to be played. So if it's, physicality you want, you need to have that in practice, because you're certainly not going to learn that in a game when you've had all this time to prepare for it and you didn't do it. So, and I think these players are chomping at the bit. I think the closer to each game, or the closer we get to September 26th, I think the harder they're going to hit.
Mike Houston also was asked about his takeaways from watching the other AAC teams playing over the weekend. Of course, you had Navy in action, Memphis, SMU. Here's what Houston had to say.
Well, I mean, I think you saw, at least you saw football. That's the biggest positive. And certainly, the three programs that we saw play this weekend are three that I think are, outstanding programs. Coach Niamat up at Navy, I have tremendous respect for him. He's disappointed today in their performance, but I also know that he and that staff will get those guys fixed. I do think it's a big caution to all of us that, at the end of the day, you've got to prepare to play the game. I thought that SMU and Memphis, you saw some really, really good things. I think you saw some timing and some stuff that wasn't quite as crisp as you would expect out of them, and I think you're going to see some of the same things out of everybody. Conditioning is going to be an issue early in the year. I think the timing and just all the clean play that we're so accustomed to seeing. You have not had the spring practice. You haven't had the spring and summer conditioning. Fall camp has been stop, start. So I think you're going to see some inconsistent play even in the top programs.
Mike Houston there, and a couple of things. As he's talking, I'm watching CBS Sports headquarters, and they're showing games coming up, Shirley, and lines for games. And Clemson is a 33-point favorite against Wake Forest on Saturday night. And, what are the top-tier teams going to look like? Are they the anomaly? Will they be crisp? Whereas, Mike Houston talked about you're going to see some sloppy football. If you have all 5-star recruits out there, will they be able to mask not having all those workouts that they miss? So I'm kind of interested to see what these top teams look like. Will there be more upsets? Will there be bigger blowouts? What will that mean for football? Well,
I guess it just depends on who they're playing. If you're especially with this Clemson Wake Forest game, depending on how Wake Forest comes out, if they come out sloppy, Clemson comes out sloppy, well, then it's just a parity situation where you can just see which one is the more elite team, and then you'll have to decide whether or not that's an anomaly or if that is because Clemson's that good and Wake Forest is that bad. So, it just really depends. I don't expect to see as many blowouts, just simply because you're going, especially in the first couple of weeks, just because you're not going to see as many teams. They've got to shake the cobwebs off and get into game mode. But, once you get past that first game, I think you're going to see a little bit of a difference as far as the parity.
The old
of the
phrase
teams.
about you make your most improvements from
week 1 to week 2.
Is that going to be magnified this year?
I think so, especially because especially with teams that have had to pause at some point, that have not had any kind of consistency with their practicing. I think you're going to see a lot more of that.
Also, yesterday I just brought up, there are a few positives to having these games pushed back. You get to watch other teams play. You get to see what your team needs to work on. You get to have additional practices, all of that. Mike Houston was asked about that. Are there any positives you can take away from pushing back the start to the season? This is number 12, Shirley.
I think there's good and bad. The reason for us pushing back so long is because of having, the outbreak and having the 12-day pause. So obviously we didn't improve any there. Probably took a step back. I do think that, it's giving you, this having that extra week now before the opener after we've gotten everybody back. I think it does give you an opportunity to iron out some things with some young kids. We're working so many situations this week. Today we were working late game, special teams situations. We're going to continue to work all that throughout this week. It gives you maybe a little bit more time with that stuff than what you've had in the past. So I think there's some plus and some minus.
No doubt about it. The minus is, we need some Pirate football. Good news is you got some extra time to prepare for a really good football team in UCF. The Pirates will have another scrimmage coming up this weekend, and then will start their full prep for UCF as they come to town on the 26th of September to take on ECU. Let's take a timeout. We'll come back, get ready to wrap up hour number 1 and get you set for hour number 2. Wager McGhee going to talk about all the action going on in college and NFL. Looking forward to going down that slate of games with Wager in hour number 2 of today's show. More to go on Pirate Radio Live after this.
UBE and PirateWear.com are proud to offer the Pirate Nation its largest inventory ever. Brand new Adidas is arriving daily, along with Under Armour, Columbia, and Russell Athletic. UBE is loaded with cargo, and new items are being added daily to PirateWear.com. Be sure to check out our children's store, The Crow's Nest, for all of your young pirates. UBE and PirateWear.com, an ECU tradition for 50 years. Go Pirates!
What's the big deal? Where can you get pizza, bread twists, specialty chicken, and more for just $5.99 each?
Is it at Domino's?
He hands off hand-tossed pizza and a marble cookie brownie. He's going!
There's a lot of variety on the radio and at Domino's too, where you can
Mix and match 2 or more. $5.99 each at Domino's.
2-item minimum. Pan pizza, bone-in wings, and bread bowls will be extra. Ask for this limited time offer. Prices, participation, delivery area, and charges may vary.
At US Cellular, we speak fair. When we say you don't have to pay activation fees, we mean it. Plus, right now when you switch, you also get $700 toward the latest phones. Yep, we mean that too. Upgrade to fair with US Cellular. Promotional pricing requires an unlimited everyday or even better plan. New line port and credit approval. Qualified smartphone purchase and comes via monthly bill credit on a 30-month RIC. Taxes, fees, and additional restrictions apply.
This is Brandon Tate, owner and operator of Atlantic Wireless, an authorized agent for US Cellular since 1997. Visit AtlanticWireless.com to find the store near you. We go beyond the call.
Hi, I'm Annalie Newhoff.
And I'm Rob Campbell.
And we are with CopyPro. We have been locally owned and operated here in Eastern North Carolina for almost 50 years. CopyPro is the leader in office technology.
Does your business struggle with keeping printing costs low or producing professional documents? Here at CopyPro, total customer satisfaction is our #1 priority.
We have a variety of solutions to help reduce your printing expenses and make your business more productive. Call us today at 1-800-682-6558 or online at copypro.net.
CopyPro, we are the professional office systems people.
Hi, this is Jeff Charles, and welcome inside the booth. This is one man's opinion on the cutouts. Some thoughts are coming up next.
Let me tell you a thing or two about the people who don't compromise. For starters, they love a nice, cold Pepsi Zero Sugar. Why? Because it's delicious, it's refreshing, and it has zero sugar. How's that for not compromising? They're the sort of person that likes surf with their turf. Because who decided beef shouldn't have a buddy? And a drink with their feast? Yeah, they have a Pepsi Zero Sugar. The person who doesn't compromise loves a good golden doodle. All the golden retriever goodness with just a hint of doodle. No compromises there. Oh, and when they're bringing said golden doodle for a walk, they bring a Pepsi Zero Sugar. They're the kind of person jorts were made for. 50% jeans, 50% shorts, 100% the most comfortable thing that's ever graced your wardrobe. Not compromising never looked so good. So crack open a Pepsi Zero Sugar and taste what it's like to have it all. Pepsi Zero Sugar. Zero sugar done right. That's what I like.
I mean, what really is the purpose of the cutouts in stadiums and arenas? We all know those aren't real people. I don't get it. The first time I saw cutouts was during the Korean baseball games on ESPN. I thought it looked dumb then, and I think it looks dumb now. At least the ones the NBA is using in Orlando are animated, and at first you might think that they are actually watching the game on TV and real people are sitting there. But the ones at the baseball games, they maybe put 30 or 40 of them behind home plate, and when the camera pans the stadium, you see thousands of empty seats and then just a couple little rows of cutouts. Yes, it really looks dumb. I would rather see huge canvas advertisements cover empty seats. We'll all be glad when things get back to some sense of normalcy. And hey, these cutouts, they can go straight to the dumpster. Come on back again next time and we'll visit inside the booth.
Hi, this is Morgan Ehlers, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to Hour 1 of Pirate Radio Live. Now, back to the show.
Well, welcome back. The best investment you can make is in yourself. Get educated and make prudent decisions about your financial future. Contact David Dom at Carolina Wealth Management today at 439-1344 for a free consultation. Now, let's head back into Pirate Radio Live. Here's your host, Clip Brock.
Alrighty. Thank you, Shirley Rhodes. Got Chan Man on the video production today. Glenn Griffin fired up because we're full steam ahead when it comes to the production aspects of Pirate Radio Live now. So Glenn has been in a good mood today. That's always positive. Right, Shirley?
Yes.
Glenn's been in a good mood for a while now.
Yeah,
he's been, I mean, it's been, for the amount of stress and the crazy world we live in, it's been as I keep kicking things over in here, it's been a very positive.
I know, that's twice. You're just destroying the set over there.
I got too much stuff now. I got this new laptop Ellerbe's got in here. I got too much stuff. Too much clutter. I need to declutter. It's been a positive work environment here at Pirate Radio, Shirley.
Oh yeah, I came in today in a very good mood, and Glenn also. Yeah, I was in a very good mood because I had a nice little thing happen to me on Twitter yesterday, and then
you had the Abby Wambach shout out.
Yes.
What was that about?
Well, basically what happened is I was on Twitter yesterday, and this guy had gotten on there, was tagging a bunch of women's soccer players, wanting to give them an opportunity. His wife was having a birthday in a couple of weeks, and he wanted them to give her a birthday shout out. Yeah. Well, Abby was tagged in that particular thing, and I responded by saying, you'll be lucky if you get Abby to do a shout out, because she doesn't really do social media. And I said something to the effect that I had been trying for 3 years to get a tweet from Abby, and I was unsuccessful. And next thing I know, about 30 minutes, 45 minutes, maybe something like that, I got a notification on my phone, but I couldn't look at it. I was driving, and I got home, and I opened it up, and sure enough, there was a birthday shout out from Abby Wambach, who everyone who knows me well enough knows I'm an unapologetic Abby Wambach fan. And she sang happy birthday, said my name, and I've been pretty much floating on cloud nine ever since. So
say my name, say my name.
I came in this morning, I looked right at Jonathan, and I said, you can't tell me nothing today. That's exactly what I did.
All right, so Chandler, let's go down the line here. If you could get a shout out from anybody,
this is tough,
that would make your day and following day, who would that shout out be from?
Clip Rock.
Chandler, I want to wish you a happy birthday, friend.
Oh man, they have those things now. It's like an
Cameo.
App. Yeah. So
Shirley got hers for free. That's even better.
Yeah.
So so she's good.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go and watch that. I just pulled it up on Twitter, so that's pretty cool. Shirley, that's awesome.
Yeah, I guess I would go like old former Brave or old Redskins player like Darryl Green or something. Like, I don't know who would really like brighten me up that much.
The only other one that I would love, like from the sports world, would be Dale Murphy.
I was thinking about him.
Yeah,
an old
Dale
Brave.
Murphy would be just the coolest thing for me, because my sister is actually named after him, so that would be pretty cool. But as far as that shout out from Abby, that ranks up there with Joe McIntyre touching my hand a couple of years ago. So
from New Kids on the Block, of course, fame.
I'm a total girl about it. Don't even try.
Joey McIntyre
don't
touched
at me.
Shirley's hand.
Joe McIntyre touched my hand. Actually, 3 of the 5 new kids have touched my hand. I only have 2 left. Danny Wood, Jordan Knight. Those are the only 2 I've got left.
Chandler, if you could have a celebrity touch your hand that would really make your day, who would it be? I was hoping you were going to say me.
Nah. Glenn Griffin.
You want those big meaty paws on you? Oh, man. All right, good stuff. All right, let's wrap up hour number 1. When we return, Wager McGhee. If he improves his picks, will be a celebrity around the area. Wager won an under last week. That is unheard of. Does he go back to the underwell this week or stick with the overs? We'll get his picks in college, NFL, and see what else he's got out there. Maybe some NASCAR, some golf. There's a lot of stuff going on in the sports world. We'll talk about it all with Wager McGhee when we return on Pirate Radio Live after this.
Hey Pirate Nation, this is former ECU tight end Bryce Williams from my friends at the Auto Store Group. If you're in the market for a quality used vehicle, then the Auto Store Group is for you. The Auto Store Group has 3 locations and over 150 quality used vehicles to choose from for all budgets. Shop their entire inventory today at theautostoregroup.com. And remember, every purchase comes with a free bucket of fun. The Auto Store Group, your hometown store, Pirate owned and operated for over 38 years. Go Pirates!
Get your ice cold Bud Light Seltzer here. Even though you can't go to the game, doesn't mean the game can't be brought to you now here. Just go to budlight.com/delivery. That's budlight.com/delivery.
Give me 2 mangoes.
Coming at you. It's a little short. Ow. Sorry. You know what? I'm just going to walk them over to you.
Whenever there's a game to watch, there's a Bud Light there. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch, Bud Light Beer, and Bud Light Seltzer, IRC Beer in Texas, St. Louis, Missouri.
In studio with Mike Mullis from Fixed NC. And Mike, you guys have a disinfecting service for homes and businesses.
Yes, we have a 2-step process that includes disinfecting and also provides 30 days of protection to all surfaces treated. We're doing this for 10 cents a square foot in businesses and $10 a room in your home.
Mike, how can folks get in touch with you?
Call me directly at my cell, 252-999-0001. Again, 3 9s, 3 zeros, and a 1. Or fixednc.com.
Are you trying to reduce clutter? Want to save a tree? Greenville Utilities can help. E-bill is a simple solution. Imagine getting an email letting you know your bill is ready. And with a few clicks on your computer or smartphone, you can review and pay your bill. It's just that easy. Signing up is simple. All you need to do is to log onto your account at guc.com and update your contact information and e-bill setting. You can even continue to receive a paper bill if you'd like. E-bill from Greenville Utilities. Just one of the ways GUC is here for you.
In studio today with Dr. Shondell Jones from Kinetic Physical Therapy. How can you help people with back pain?
Well, most people are going to have back pain at some point during their life, but you don't have to live with it. A bad MRI or a bad x-ray does not mean you're destined to always have pain. We have specialists that are well trained to find out what the true problem is and the true source of your pain so they can get you on track to feeling better. So don't suffer with back pain. Our nationally board certified specialists are here to help you. To learn more, visit us at kptonline.com. We can help you live well, move more, and hurt less.
Hey, welcome to Jack Brown's.
Hey, can I get a cheeseburger and add lettuce and tomato?
No, we don't have it. You can get some macaroni and barbecue chips on it, though.
Greg Brady style. Or cream cheese and jalapeno jelly.
Cobra Kai. Or bacon, a fried egg, and some cheese. Chiflet.
Or just cheese, like a cheeseburger.
Cool. I'll take a Greg Brady with those new cheese fries you guys got.
Sounds good.
Oh, I forgot. Can I get us out of ranch?
No! Jack Brown's, 805 Dickinson Avenue, Greenville.
Bostic Sugg Furniture wants to know, how'd you sleep last night? If you're like thousands, the answer is probably not very well. You're tired, stressed, your job suffers, and worse, your health suffers. Get better sleep on a Restonic mattress, a Consumer's Digest Award winner 13 years running. Restonic Queen mattresses start as low as $4.99. Restonic two-sided Queen mattresses from only $6.99. If you're ready to wake up to a whole new you, we have a Restonic mattress waiting for you, exclusively at Bostic Sugg Furniture.
Great news, amigos. Chico's Dine-In Service is back open every day. Come and enjoy favorites like shrimp tacos, steak and chicken fajitas, burritos, enchiladas, ACP, and more. Chico's is still offering to-go and curbside service as well by calling 757-1666. Don't forget to stock up on Chico's famous margarita mix for only $9.99 per half gallon. Follow Chico's on Facebook and Instagram for daily updates. For Mexican food and fun, it's got to be Chico's for dine-in or to-go.
This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, W224EI Greenville, WDLX Washington, and W281CH Washington. You're listening to Hour 2 of Pirate Radio Live. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Hey, eat healthy at Clean Eats. Sign up for a meal plan at cleaneats.com or stop in. to eat at the cafe or grab a meal to go. Clean Eats is located on Red Banks Road, and you can go online at cleaneats.com. Now let's head back in to Pirate Radio Live. Here is your host, Clip Brock.
Alrighty, welcome back into Pirate Radio Live, hour number 2 of today's program. We got the hoodied one.
Barely.
Wager McGhee joining us inside the Pirate Radio studios. Got Shirley, got Chan Man, and ready to go for week 1 of the NFL, week 2 of the college football season. We're starting to see more and more teams get back into action. The ACC, a few Big 12 teams going to be in action this weekend, and Wager, we'll talk about it all. First, looking back at last week, we had our Pirate Radio plays out on Saturday, and I mean, you couldn't write a better script. The only win you got was an under. I mean, how crazy is that?
I'm going to be bitter about that SMU game for a while. I don't know. I think Big Man on Campus had that one as well. So, I mean, 2 touchdowns called back for penalties. They fumbled into the end zone. But it's week 1 of college football.
2020 football.
I mean, it's week 1 of football. I think you've got to factor that in, right? I mean, it's always the issue with college football, but is it going to be even more so this year? Those refs were they were a little heavy-handed in that one with their electronic whistles. So I don't know about that blindside
literally
block.
Heavy-handed. Yeah.
That long touchdown, blindside block, the illegal formation on the little reverse thing. In a 2-3 weeks, that's a 28-point win for SMU. But, hey, now there's going to be value on Texas San Antonio this week against Texas State, I'm sure. So,
all right, so week 1 still for a lot of teams, and, of course, in the NFL. So what you're saying is you're probably not going to bet that much this week, right?
No.
You can't figure it out. You probably should just lay low. So I'm only going to bet on 58 games this weekend.
Yeah, well, I think you got to watch the big spreads. But then, Clemson's like one of my favorite plays of the week. How that thing's
Really?
not a 43-point spread, I don't know.
Okay, all right. Hold on. I don't know. I think the way I want to do this is chronologically. So let's start with Thursday.
Okay.
And we'll see if you like anything. Starting with the college game at 8 o'clock, UAB Miami. Miami a 14-point favorite, and the total 54.5. Are you doing anything with that game?
It's not on the sheet here, but it's on TV, so I'll end up probably doing something with it. It's the only standalone game.
We're going under.
Oh, you are?
We are.
Ooh. I don't know if I can go under on that one. So remember, Derek King is. What I saw on that, obviously, because I liked UAB. I thought they would roll the Sugar Bears. Shame on me for going, but they were.
Okay, let's talk about that game.
The end of the first half.
I tailed Big Man and had under 14.5 points for the Sugar Bears. And the way they scored, I think they did end up scoring a late one. I cut it off because I got mad. But they scored on the strip play, the strip touchdown, a punt return that was fumbled. They had first and goal. And then I think an interception, they had first and goal. Basically, they were given all their points by UAB.
It was 28-7 with 2 minutes to go in the half, UAB, and they held the Sugar Bears, and Sugar Bears were punting to them. And then UAB proceeds to fumble that one play, touchdown pass. We love the quarterback and the wide receiver. They get the ball back, still at 14. I know Bad Beats had it this week, too, because UAB was laying 12, I think, in the first half. They were still at 14. Threw a pass, completion, they stripped the ball and picked it up and ran in for a touchdown. So it was 28-21 when it could have been 35-7 or 28-7. But again, that's week 1 of it's always college football.
Okay.
I think of trying to can we see any of these games where the teams are really struggling? Navy, for example, that one's just in its class by itself. But, new head coaches, new offensive coordinators, new defensive coordinators. That's why in the book for this week, I spent so much time looking at that, because I think that's really going to be as these bigger teams play. I think there'll be some examples of that where you're going to be able to get some value. Teams that really needed spring practice and all the hits and all the scrimmaging before, as we talked about, teams aren't scrimmaging, and Navy didn't even hit. But I think the same thing's going to happen with the NFL as well. So trying to learn from those situations.
All right. Well, we'll just bypass UAB Miami since you don't have a lot to say about it, and we got.
I didn't really like the UAB quarterback, so I think he may have trouble with the Miami speed. But again, Derek's new. I don't know what they got in for spring practice. I mean, he's new to that system. I think there's a new offensive coordinator there for Miami as well. So I'm not loving that. We don't have a lot. I think there's 4 teams this week. They're playing their second game versus the team playing the first game.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I don't love it at all. But I definitely don't love the under in that game.
All right, let's go Thursday night NFL. So there's 2 football games you can watch on Thursday night. The other, the Texans and the Chiefs. Kicking off the season, Jeff Nadeau already has Texans plus 10 right now. It's Texans plus 9. Big total for NFL game, but with Pat Mahomes and Deshaun Watson, you're going to have a big total, 54.5. What are you going to do on opening night?
Oh, I love the over. I mean, I think we talked about last year. There was the higher the totals in that mid to upper 50s, more than likely. Most of the time, percentage-wise, it was like 67 to 70% of the time those games go over. Kansas City, since 2016, is 44-23 to the over, so 44 out of the last 67 games. These 2 teams have played 3 times in the last couple of years with Mahomes, Deshaun Watson, the coaches that are in place. All 3 of those games have gone over.
The playoff game was weird.
Yeah. I mean,
Texans got up, what? Was it 24-0 or whatever?
Yeah, that was the big comeback. I mean, bigger than the Chiefs fell down and everything. So, yeah. But that was the big one, 24-0, I think. Yeah, in the second quarter, and then whatever it ended, I think they scored 50 on them. So, I mean, again, if you're looking at coordinators and all that, from that standpoint, the Chiefs are as solid as they were at the end of last year, right? Same head coach, same offense coordinator, defense coordinator.
A million weapons.
The only weak spot everybody always pointed to was running back, and they get lucky and grab the running back from LSU late in the draft. They're completely healthy. They're in the best shape of anybody, and they play in the easiest division in the NFL. I mean, as they go through the year, I think it's just going to be where they're far and away going to be the best team in the NFL and get home field advantage. But for this week, I don't know what Texas did that's making them a lot better. I think there was a question mark about defensive coordinator. It almost seems like they just promoted within because it's J.J. Watt's coach. So Kansas City's not going to have any trouble scoring. I would look to take the points week 1 because underdogs usually hit, but I'm leaning to the over here.
All right, wager and over. I mean, why even discuss it, right?
Gambler McGhee, right? It's he's loose. The lady in the grocery store will just start going by. Gambler
McGhee.
Gambler McGhee.
All right, let's see. Okay, this one really stood out to me. And I know North Carolina's primed for a big season as we move on to Saturday college football. Noon kickoff, Kenan Stadium. Just blind betting the numbers wager. Syracuse plus 22.5 looks like a good bet to me. Tell me why it's not, or why it is.
I can't. I don't have it on the sheet, but I was trying to find the coordinator situation. But it's similar to the 18 and 20 point games that we were trying to lay last week, thinking that team's far and away better than the other one. I don't know if I want to be laying for somebody like that early in the season when Syracuse can score, and Carolina may just get a little bit of work and then put some back doors going to be open in all these games, right? Mm-hmm. Where they'll get Howell out of the game and just let him do some work, early in the first couple of quarters. You're up 28, 35 points. Still, I think they can give it up. I'm not going to lay the points. Yeah, both teams run up tempo. They can score. New offense coordinator for Syracuse has got to get work and has got to, it's got to run his offense late in the games with the starters. So I don't like laying the points with Carolina.
All right. I mean, again, that's just a blind lean towards Syracuse. All right. Stop me if you really like a game. I'm going to run down the noon games and just go from there. Louisiana, voila, the Raging Cajuns are plus 11.5 at Iowa State. Charlotte is a 17-point dog at App State. I kind of blindly like App State in that game.
I like Charlotte, but I love the over.
59.5.
Well, that was the game last year. It was 56-41.
Okay.
And I think the app issue, they did get their spring training in, or spring practice, but it was the third head coach in 3 years. I mean, quarterback is a stud there, but it's just another change of system that they've got to get used to. And Charlotte was in that game last year. It was almost 1,000 total yards. It was close. They're bad on special teams, which
that wasn't
is
a game that was on a weird day, was it?
No, I think it was a Saturday noon game.
All right.
I think they blocked a punt of Charlotte. If Phil Steele in his ratings in the conference has Charlotte as the worst special teams in the conference, so it may not help. I think App returned a kickoff or they returned a block punt. But it was a pretty close game early on, and then they pulled out late. But yeah, it was 56-41 there. No fans in Boone. Quick trip for Charlotte up there. I mean, it's going to be as nice of a atmosphere as they can get up there in Boone as a visitor. So.
Just an offensive-friendly day.
Offensive-friendly day, yep.
Now, a keen listener just texted in, there's a good chance of rain in Chapel Hill, which would go back to an under. But does that mean there's going to be rain in Boone as well? Where's I need to see the forecast. That's something we have not talked about.
We have not, because there's not. This is traditionally a week where the hurricanes comes through. So you got to look and see what games are getting canceled. And I think I kind of always assume there's at least a little bit of rain or mist in App State. So, but it's a good point to look at.
All right. Do not have a line for Eastern Kentucky, West Virginia.
I think that's 40. I like West Virginia for the season a whole lot. Neil Brown, we liked him at Troy. I think they'll turn it around. He did. He struggled in year one at Troy and then had 3 straight double digits years. Plus, the Daggy, or however you say his name, the quarterback that transferred from Bowling Green there, he started the last 3 games for them, and they won 2 of those straight up. They were double-digit dogs in all of them. Almost won all 3 of them as upsets. West Virginia is going to be a much better team this year, almost like South Alabama, almost like I think Georgia Tech will be. Play on. I think they're laying 40 against Eastern Kentucky, who was horrible against Marshall and can't stop the pass. So they may be able to cover it.
Kansas State, 10.5-point favorite against Arkansas State. I know you like Arkansas State. Jeff Nadeau is going to lay the points here, though, for the Wildcats.
It's not on the sheet from that standpoint, but I do like Arkansas State's second game, although that's tough back-to-back Memphis to travel to Manhattan. That's a really, I think, only 3 offensive starters back for K-State, but Skylar Thompson, the quarterback, is one. Tough place to go and play, but I don't know what they're going to do about fans and everything else. And I don't know how beat up Arkansas State is. And I need to look at it. Traditionally, Kansas State is a great week 1 against non-conference. They bully and they cover that number. So I'm not rushing to bet Arkansas State.
All right, 1:30 on CBS Sports Network, Louisiana Monroe against Army. I had Middle Tennessee last week. That didn't work out well for me.
And now you're not going to be able to get any value betting against Army or betting on Navy.
But this happened last year, right? Army almost beat Michigan week 1, right?
Yes.
Early in the year, and then kind of went to crap after that. So, I mean, not saying that's going to happen this year, but you might could get value betting against Army, right?
Yeah, I think that's where you get, because I think
they're 20-point favorites here.
Yeah, the look ahead on that, I think I saw somebody was saying was like 12 or something, and then it jumped to 20 after they dominated Middle Tennessee.
You're saying that before the Army game last week, the line for this game would have been 12.
Yeah, they adjusted a good touchdown favorite there. So, new offensive coordinator Monroe. Sorry, new offensive coordinator from Monroe. So, that's
under. Army unders.
I had the Army under last week.
That could be a thing this year.
It could be, because they can go on a drive and eat up in a full quarter. I mean, they did last week.
I'm so bad at gambling that if I hit something one week, I already call it a trend. So, let's go Army unders all year.
They're great. If you like playing second half, and who doesn't like second half and then running? They offered lines for a reason, so you might as well play them. If they're up at halftime, I mean, I think their goal is to try to eat up an entire quarter, and they're really the only team in college football that can do it. Yeah. Last week, 99 yards, and it took up 13 minutes or something. I
started to get worried because they hit some big plays. One, it might have been a turnover, but they had some big plays on offense, and I didn't need them to score that fast, but the under still hit.
They're good. I still want to see. I mean, the Middle Tennessee quarterback got hurt early on, I think, and came out of the game. They fumbled that first drive.
And you had the calamity at the end zone at the first half, where they let the clock run out.
I think somebody said the middle, maybe Stockstill had the under in the first half. Horrible. Again, that's week 1 but he's
been there for 80 years.
I know. He's 16 years there, 17 years or something. So
that was than 80.
The worst. That was in dog years. That was it was really the worst use, because I think they lined up for a snap with like 40 seconds to go, and they had 2 timeouts.
Yeah.
And they got to play off. They stopped, look at the sideline. Anyway, we can move on for that.
Moving on. NBC, 2:30, Notre Dame hosting Duke. Notre Dame a 20-point favorite, total at 54.5.
I think Notre Dame rolls in this one. So, I mean, I guess Cutcliffe is calling plays again this year or giving up play calling. I can't remember which one. He's calling plays again this year.
Scotty Montgomery's not coaching in Maryland, so he's letting him call plays again for Duke.
I mean, Notre Dame's got a new offense coordinator, but it's Tommy Rees, who's been the quarterback coach there for the last 3 years. So it's not a big transition really for them. I think they're just letting him call the plays this year. And Book is...
Who's calling plays?
Tommy Rees, R-E-E-S, the guy that's been the offense quarterback coach there. He played there.
Okay, that's what I was thinking. Like, I thought he was still a player.
No, you just slow transition at Notre Dame. But I mean, Book, they've got to figure out wide receivers, I think, but they're going to be good. They're so good on offense. Everybody will just count down until Notre Dame and Clemson game. But this is one where I think Duke is going to struggle. You saw it last year. First game of the year was Duke against Alabama. They eventually wear down. The high-powered offense will score and everything else. So I think Notre Dame's going to roll on this one.
All right, 3:30 ABC. This is a case where I want to bet against both teams. Although you said Georgia Tech's going to be better. Georgia Tech, a 12.5-point underdog to Florida State, 52.5 total.
I like Tech. I mean, you got Tech's got the most returning starters. Now, you could argue that what does that mean, I guess, but most returning starters in college football. So they got 19 total back, 9 on offense, 10 on defense. I think we like Jeff Collins. We think he's going to do well there and be successful.
Would have been nice for them to have an offseason to continue to get away from that option offense, right? But
yeah, they signed the 16th best quarterback in the country, so they're going to go a little bit more pro style, throwing it down the field on them. And Florida State, even though they got a ton of talent back, and by far they're much better than Georgia Tech, but it's a new system for them, and it's been a weird offseason with holding COVID information back or not.
Oh, yeah. Mike Norvell.
Yeah, I don't know if he's gotten the players on his side yet.
It sounded like there was going to be like a walkout.
Yeah.
We're not going to play for you. Yeah, you're right. That's why I don't like either one of these sides. I don't know.
In Florida State, I don't think they'll. I don't know. I think there's only. I don't know if they're allowing fans or not, but it doesn't matter because Florida State at home's only 9-12 against the spread the last 4 years.
Norvell does like to run it up, so if they have a lead, you feel like they can expand on that lead.
Yeah, and I think Georgia Tech, again, I think they're going to start the freshman quarterback, and they're going to throw it a little bit more than what they did. 53 seems low, but of course I love overs. So, because Norvell, we know what he likes to do with Memphis early, and we talked about that with Memphis last week, how they, first week of the season always seemed to, I think they were averaging 51 points a game the last 3 years in that first week. It's a conference game. They want to make a good first impression. Tech's just going to air it out with all those guys. So I think there's going to be points. The total seems low. I think we're still thinking about Tech option, but I like Tech plus the 12.5. So,
all right, we'll circle back and get your favorite plays at the end of this thing. So, but we're just kind of running through them all right now. UTSA at Texas State. Texas State an 8-point favorite, 57 total.
I think there's value on. I don't know really much about UTSA, but I think Texas State was a lot worse than what the score ended up defensively last week. So I know there's Texas State, again, not in a great situation. Got a new head coach, offense coordinator, defensive coordinator, but they've got a lot of guys back, a lot of experience on the team, and I think you're getting as much value as you're going to get with Texas State being, just because everybody saw them last week and it looked like they really had a good chance of beating SMU and play tight, and they covered. So,
all right, Chris Haymeyer will have the Statesboro Blues down in Georgia as Campbell takes on Georgia Southern at 3:30 on ESPNU. All right, nice time slot for the Camels. Austin Peay back at it against Pittsburgh. That is 4 o'clock on the ACC network. I'll tell you what, now we're at a good breaking point. We're going to get into the 7 o'clock games, see what you like there, and talk about the NFL games. Let's take a time out. We'll come back, have more with Wager McGhee here on a Wednesday edition of Pirate Radio Live. We are running through the entire slate of college football and the NFL. We're back with you after this.
Weekdays are a great time to visit North Carolina State Parks. The best time to learn about nature is to be able to look, listen, and feel its natural beauty. A visit to the North Carolina State Parks is perfect for homeschoolers, scout groups, and teachers looking for a fun field trip during the week. You'll be amazed at all the natural wildlife you'll see when you experience the beauty of each North Carolina State Park. Visit ncparks.gov to get all the information on the closest park near you.
Ahoy, mateys! To keep those cars clean, you need the Pirates Cove Fast Pass.
The new Pirates Cove Car Wash and Haviland Express Lube on Glen Burnie Road in New Bern is now open. Pirates Cove is now offering Fast Passes for $9.99 for new Fast Pass customers. These Fast Passes are good in New Bern and at all 3 Greenville locations. Visit us in Greenville on Fire Tower Road, Memorial Drive, and on East 10th Street. And now in New Bern on Glen Burnie Road.
So we have you surrounded. Pirates Cove, the official car wash partner of ECU Athletics.
The Frells family lives on a lush piece of land called Greener Pasture, and they work on it behind the wheel of a John Deere 1 Series tractor. With its durable construction and features that hook up to dozens of attachments with ease, no job is too tough. The Frells family runs with us, because this is more than just land, it's home. Nothing runs like a Deere. Search John Deere 1 Series for more.
Get quality at every turn with Quality Equipment, your local John Deere dealer, with 27 locations in North Carolina and southeastern Virginia. Find out more at qualityequip.com.
Domino's week-long carry-out deal means you can carry out 3-topping pizzas for $7.99 each every day. That's right, $7.99 each, and every day means any day. But just in case there's any confusion, we've set up a helpful website to confirm if today's a day you can carry out 3-topping pizzas for $7.99 each at Domino's. Just go to howaboutoday.com to find out if Domino's week-long carry-out deal is valid today. Spoiler alert, it is. Carry out only. You must ask for this limited time offer. Prices, participation, and charges may vary. Excludes extra large and specialty pizzas. Crust availability varies by size.
With rates being historically low, now is the best time to buy or refinance your home. This is Talbot Green with Angel Oak Home Loans. Now is the time to take advantage of the opportunity to buy more home or refinance your current mortgage. The combination of our local team's experience and Angel Oak's wide offerings of products from standard conventional, government, and portfolio loans has something for most financial situations. For more information, call Talbot Green, Joanne Weir, or Wanda Hager at 751-2060.
NMLS 1719250 and 685-842. Equal housing lender.
If you are push mowing your yard using an inefficient lawn tractor, or your current zero-turn spends more time in the shop than mowing your grass, it's time you look at a Hustler zero-turn lawnmower. Residential mowers from Hustler are built like tanks and drive like sports cars. All Hustler mowers have fabricated, welded steel decks. Don't settle on cheap units with flimsy stamped decks from big box stores. Come see Ron Ayers Motorsports. It will guide you to the right mower for your property and your budget. Find us at Ron Ayers Motorsports, Highway 11, north of the airport in Greenville.
I'm Michael Vaughn with East Coast Grading and Utilities. Many of you know my dad, David Vaughn, and his work in putting in subdivisions all over Pirate Nation. But East Coast Grading and Utilities is not just for those type of big jobs. We're here for the homeowners, whether it's concrete, driveways, hauling rock, or sand. Whatever you need, East Coast Grading and Utilities can get the job done. Call us at 252-531-7494 or check us out on Facebook at East Coast Grading and Utilities.
CD's Grill in Winterville wants to thank you for all of your support during these crazy times. CD's Grill has the area's best country cooking, and you can come and enjoy a down-home breakfast or one of our daily country lunch specials at CD's Grill.
CD's now has an incredible lunch special from 11 till 2 every Saturday. Choose from 2 hot dogs, cheeseburger, or chicken sandwich with fries and a drink for only $4.99 at CD's Grill every Saturday.
CD's Grill, 111 West Fire Tower Road in Winterville.
This is former ECU baseball player and mayor of Greenville, PJ Connolly, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of Pirate Nation.
You're listening to Hour 2 of Pirate Radio Live. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. PRL this afternoon is brought to you by Bud Light, who reminds Pirate fans to always stay in the game and drink responsibly. Bud Light, the official beer of the ECU Pirates, and proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989. And as we head back into Pirate Radio Live, Clip, I've got an interesting baseball story for you as the Tigers, the Detroit Tigers and the Milwaukee Brewers played they just ended the game just a few minutes ago. Brewers drubbed them 19-0.
Oh, wow.
21 hits for the Tigers, 21 hits for the Brewers, 2 hits for the Tigers. So they lay a big old fat goose egg, and they had actually had position players come in and pitch. And one guy who hit his very first major league home run off of a position player.
Nice, good for him. And there's something in the NFL that somebody keeps up with called scoregami. Every time there's a new score that has never, a new final score that's never happened before, it's scoregami. 19-0 has to be a pretty rare Major League Baseball score. So I don't know how many times that's ever happened amongst all the baseball games played. All right, by the way, Orioles a winner last night. Yankees a loser. So the O's are a half game back, I think, out of that final playoff spot, which is just insane. Do we have O's baseball tonight, Shirley Rhodes?
Yes, sir. 7:05.
This is all of a sudden becoming a story. This is all of a sudden becoming something to follow. The Baltimore Orioles, a potential playoff team, they're about to hit their over for win total for the season. All right, I see Bo Batts and Shirley Cam bringing gifts, as he always does. Thank you, Bo. You're the man. All right.
It's what you asked for.
It is. I needed a new card. All right, Bo, by the way, how can people buy those? Call Bo. You might not have his number offhand. Oh, I got it. Can I give out your cell phone number on the air? All right, I'll do that. If you want one of these cards that are absolutely awesome, because they give you discounts to a lot of different places all over town, you can contact Bo Batts and get one and help out the Pitt County Girls Softball League. 252-714-5485. Contact Bo Batts. All right. Thank you, Bo. You can come in if you want. I mean, it's up to you. It's weird communicating with you through the lobby. Thanks. Wave to the camera while you're here, too. Where are you looking? Thanks, Bo. You're the man.
Oh, thank you.
Wager McGhee gets one.
Oh, I get one. There we go.
Hey, we'll add one in our giveaway today. How about that? You are the man. Thank you, Bo.
Does Troy still work here?
Every now and then. See you, Bo. There's Bo Batts joining us on the program. All right, Wager. We're going to need to save money.
Yes.
Because Saturday night, we're going to be paying $55 to watch Missouri State and Oklahoma on pay-per-view, right? Is that the price? Is that real?
I think it is, yeah. I mean,
that's what I saw. I don't know what's the spread in this game.
Oh, it's got to be. It's FBS and FCS, but so I didn't see it. But it's got to be 49.
My God,
50.
It's starting.
Streeter, whatever his name
Rattler?
is. Rattler, yeah.
Spencer.
Sorry,
Spencer Rattler.
Yeah, Spencer Rattler.
I might bet on them just because I think Rattler's the man. All right, that's at 7 o'clock. 7 o'clock on the U, the Citadel, taking on South Florida. Jeff Scott's debut as a coach.
I like USF for the season, but Citadel's a tough team to play. They're going to play triple option. It's going to be Army, Navy. They can, if they start running the ball, they'll be able to move it a little bit on them. I mean, Georgia Tech wasn't great last year, but I think Citadel took them to overtime. So I don't know if that's the best team to start with, but I don't know how long that game's been in play. So you don't want a week to prepare for the triple option when nobody else. I mean, I guess Navy sort of runs it, so they have a little bit of experience with it. But I'm excited to see USF as we go through the season, just not this week against the triple option military team.
Jeff Scott coming from Clemson. Clemson and Wake Forest is 7:30 on ABC, and this is a play that Wager really likes this week.
Oh, it's as big of a lock as SMU last week. So it's my SMU play. You bet.
Be careful, folks.
Every way you can, ATV across the board. So, I mean, there hasn't been a more lopsided Power 5 conference. I don't know if you want it game in the last 2 years.
We're going to talk about Kansas in a few minutes. So,
but I'm just saying in conference.
Okay.
So last year Clemson won 52-3, and it wasn't even that close. So it was 516 to 105 yards, and that was with quarterback Newman, who's gone, and their wide receiver Surratt, how you say his name, who opted out. So the best two offensive players that Wake had that played in that game now are both gone. The year before that, Trevor Lawrence's first year, Clemson beat him 63-3. So it's been 115-6 the last 2 years in conference. Sports or game days there. Dabo's number one. He likes to run it up. He'll sneak and act like he doesn't, but he does. He is dominant in the ACC, 8-1 against the spread in conference last year, only
North
to
Carolina. Yeah.
In the last 2 years with Trevor at quarterback and Etienne at running back, Dabo, Clemson, however you want to look at it, 15-2-1 against the spread. So I guess we're taking in the conference championship. 9 games a year, so whatever it is, 15-2-1. So, I mean, he's good at covering in that situation. And I think, again, they need to, I mean, as we talked about Jeff Scott, so you got a new co-offensive coordinator. So you got to get that guy used to things a little bit. And you got to get in, I mean, his top 2 wide receivers are gone. So they can't just hand the ball off. They need to throw it, figure out who to go to. And then when they get up in the second half, they got to get either Taysom or DJ.
They're not going to say their whole name.
I'm not going to try to say the last names. I don't want to insult their parents by trying to say how you say those last names. But the 2 backup quarterbacks that Trevor has, because they've got to get those guys ready. They're going to be starting next year, and they didn't get the reps that they would have gotten in spring practice.
Talking yesterday to Billy Weaver about Cornell Powell, former J.H. Rose receiver, that maybe it's finally his time to get some run there in Tiger Town, and maybe we could see him have a big performance as they try to get some new faces involved in that offense. So you like Clemson minus the 33.5.
Get it before it gets to 35. It'll be 35 by kickoff. It's Clemson. It's team total Clemson. It's over. Clemson gets the over 60 by themselves. Dabo is not shy about running it up. He'll, we talked about that. So I think they do, and they've got to, again, they got to keep running the offense and throwing and get the spring practice work that they didn't get with those backups and the backup wide receivers. And that doesn't come from just handing the ball off, because eventually they're going to play Florida State, Notre Dame, and those guys need to be ready to go.
7:30 ESPN2. Great time slot for our buddies down in Nolans. Tulane is at USA, South Alabama, 1-0. Going into this game, can they get to 2-0? They're 8-point dogs, total at 52.5.
I kind of, we liked USA against Southern Miss. I kind of like them in this spot just because it's their second game and there's some changes. Losing, was it McMillan, right? The Tulane quarterback. That's a huge loss. So they got a new quarterback. I don't know how many spring games that, in spring practices Tulane got in, but USA's way ahead of them on that scale. A very good game, and the offense looked good in that game as well. Their place kicking, as we saw, is horrible.
Oh, yeah.
Which probably means that if it comes close in the red zone, they're not going to try another field goal. They missed, I think, 2 or 3 field goals and a couple extra points.
Well, they hit one big one at the end that got about, 7 feet off the ground and kind of snuck through. So they don't have a lot of confidence in their kicker.
Yeah. So, I would lean over in this thing, but I think you kind of look at the points. Well, we don't like to talk about under games.
But you won with an under last week. You can't just completely.
There's one NFL under I really love.
Okay, so good.
We can talk about that one.
All right.
But, I'm kind of. We talked about it. We adopt a team every year. USA is going to be our team. Why not? So it's USA. Let's go USA.
A little American pride here.
Yeah.
UTEP at Texas. Texas minus 43.
Ugh. I'm not touching.
58 total. That's okay. We'll move on. The Hilltoppers of Western Kentucky at Louisville.
Is that game happening, or did it get postponed?
It's still showing up here.
Okay.
I will check.
That was one I was quite, because the Tulsa-Okie State game got postponed a week, I guess, because of COVID testing.
There's no Baylor Louisiana Tech.
That one's, I think, La Tech COVID related.
I'm still seeing Western Kentucky Louisville on a schedule and available to bet. Why is it only 11.5?
I mean, it's a good Western Kentucky team.
I guess so.
I don't. Yeah. Look
at curious number there.
It is.
Total is 57.5. We got 2 more games: Houston Baptist, Texas Tech, and I know we're going to talk about Coastal Carolina, Kansas. So, any thoughts on Louisville, Western Kentucky, or
No, I need to look at. I thought it had been postponed, so I need to look at it quick. Right. But it should be a really good game. The Western team. I know, I think Phil Steele, some other people have them picked to win that conference and be the best team. And they were kind of in a new system, new head coach last year, right? So second year, a lot of returning kids there. But need to look at. I loved Louisville last year, so I need to see what that is as well. But maybe the games last week had an effect on that as well.
All right, finally, there's nothing better than late night college football. After watching college football all day,
10 p.m.
How do you cap off your night? A 10 o'clock Eastern kickoff at David Booth, Kansas Memorial Stadium in Lawrence, Kansas. The Jayhawks, a 7-point favorite against the Chanticleers of Coastal Carolina. Totals at 56. And Wager, this is one of your favorite plays this week.
I love the Chanticleers plus the 7. They went to Kansas last year and beat them 12-7. They were an inexperienced
12-7.
12-7. Yes, they held the Jayhawks to 7 points. Inexperienced team in the first year of a new head coach, and Coastal Carolina got all 15 of their spring practices in this year. So not only that, they're in the second year of the system. The running back Marble, who had 1,100 yards and 11 touchdowns last year, might be the best running back in the conference there, since App doesn't really have a standout running back. 9 of their top 10 skill guys are back, and they increased their points per game last year in the first year of a new system from 26 to 30 points a game. And now they're if there was 130 teams playing, or the 21st most experienced team in the country. So they were 7-5 last year against the spread. They were 4-1 on the road as a road dog last year. Kansas had 0 spring practices, and their offensive coordinator was promoted midway through the season last year. So he could have used some off-season time, I'm sure. I like it, and I'm actually sprinkling, too.
A little money line sprinkle.
A little money line sprinkle.
All right, well, you've given me a reason to watch this one late night Saturday night.
I would take the over 19.5, but the total is 56. So I think there's going to be more points than last year. Just because
do an alternate line.
Yeah, alternate
19.5.
You might pay like minus 1,000, whatever on that. Yeah, maybe more than 1,000. I think there will be more points than that this year. But I think maybe because the Chanticleers. I mean, again, they averaged 30 last year. They got so many guys back. This, to me, seems like South Alabama against Southern Miss, and maybe who else went on the road and won? Who is it? I guess the only one went on the road as a dog and won. Yeah, I mean, who doesn't want to watch a 10 o'clock Kansas football game?
I mean, it's on. I'll be watching. I'll be excited for the NFL the next day.
To the Midwest Hawaii.
That's what they're calling them.
Double up to catch up.
And I looked at that very early on this week because I wanted to see, what time is the last football game kicking off, because we're going to miss out on Pac-12, Mountain West, all those late kickoffs. So I'm hoping this is a trend, right? The 10 o'clock kickoff in the Midwest or whatever.
Maybe, yeah, if Big 12 was smart about it. But remember, there was a story a couple weeks ago about like the market share and the opportunity that BYU has right now. So, and especially after last week's game, now everybody's a BYU fan and thinks that, they looked good and they have a ton of speed, and that was even without their best tight end. So if they're at home, but I think they don't have a lot of home games, by default, BYU is going to kick off later than anybody else, on the West Coast. So,
all right, let's get a timeout in. We'll come back. We will look at the NFL Week 1 slate. And we'll recap Wager's favorite picks of the week. Man, it is awesome to be talking football. We will talk NFL when we return after this. Warren's Hot Dog Pizza, homemade lemonade.
Hey, Pirate Nation, Warren's Hot Dogs, 2 locations are open for business in Greenville and Chocowinity. Both locations have drive-through windows, so stop by today for hot dogs, pizzas, subs, apple and peach turnovers, homemade lemonade, and breakfast in Chocowinity, featuring homemade cheese, ham, and chicken biscuits, plus sausage dogs and more. Warren's in Greenville, across from Ron Ayers Motorsports, and in Chocowinity next to the fire department. Warren's Hot Dogs. Want some? Get some. Your CBD store in Greenville has the highest quality CBD products in the country. Your CBD store is the first and only brand that carries USDA certified organic products such as gummies, honey sticks, and high absorption water-soluble liquids, which are all made in the United States. They even offer products for your pet. The educated staff will help you answer any questions, and you can stop in anytime to get a free sample. Your CBD store, locally owned and operated, open Monday through Saturday, 10 to 6, right beside Duck Donuts in Greenville.
This is Martin Truex Jr., and as a NASCAR Cup Series champion, I love one-stop shopping. When I need fresh tires or fuel during a race, my pit crew takes care of everything. Off the track, I have an auto owner's independent agent. They handle all my insurance in one place: car, home, life, and business. Get your own pit crew and find a local agency with auto owner's insurance.
This is Norm Bryant with Town Insurance in Greenville. Call me today at 756-8300. Go Pirates.
In studio with Mike Mullis from Fixed NC. And Mike, you guys have a disinfecting service for homes and businesses.
Yes, we have a two-step process that includes disinfecting and also provides 30 days of protection to all surfaces treated. We're doing this for 10 cents a square foot in businesses and $10 a room in your home.
Mike, how can folks get in touch with you?
Call me directly at my cell, 252-999-0001. Again, 3 9s, 3 zeros, and a 1. Or fixednc.com.
UBE and PirateWear.com are proud to offer the Pirate Nation its largest inventory ever. Brand new Adidas is arriving daily, along with Under Armour, Columbia, and Russell Athletic. UBE is loaded with cargo, and new items are being added daily to PirateWear.com. Be sure to check out our children's store, The Crow's Nest, for all of your young pirates. UBE and PirateWear.com, an ECU tradition for 50 years. Go Pirates!
Let's turn a trip to the branch into a tap on your phone. Let's hit pause on a lost debit card without hitting pause on life. That's how First National Bank is redefining convenience. With a top-rated mobile app that puts more security and control at your fingertips, and friendly people to help you succeed right by your side. Let's get started at fnb-online.com or your local First National Bank. FNB member FDIC.
It's summertime, and it's no better time to drive away with a quality pre-owned car or truck from Greenville Auto World. Let Greenville Auto World show you how easy it is to buy a quality used car in Greenville. We believe fair prices, superior service, and treating customers right leads to satisfied repeat buyers. Are you planning that summer trip by car? We'll get you set for that trip with an oil change and 27-point inspection. Greenville Auto World, 3840 South Charles Boulevard, across from Hardee's at Bell's Fork.
When you don't have time to go to lunch, let Jimmy John's deliver lunch to you. With Jimmy John's, we can get a freaky fresh sandwich to you freaky fast. Click to order at jimmyjohns.com. Dinner's great. It's one of your top 3 favorite meals. You just don't want to have to make it. Well, with Jimmy John's, you don't have to. Whether you live in a sandwich delivery zone or head into the store, you can always get a freaky fresh sandwich. Click to order at jimmyjohns.com.
This is Coach Donnie Kirkpatrick, Office Coordinator for ECU Football, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to Hour 2 of Pirate Radio Live. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Got damage? Damage from wood rot? Fixed. Damage from smoke or fire? Fixed. Damage caused by water? Fixed. If you've got damage, use a contractor that works for you and not your insurance company. Visit fixednc.com today or call 999-0001. That's 3 9s, 3 zeros, and a 1. Fixed NC. Restore, renew, maintain. Now let's head back in to Pirate Radio Live. Here is your host, Clip Rock.
All right, got the voice, Jeff Charles, joining us coming up at 5 o'clock. Got Bryce Williams joining me inside the Pirate Radio studios at 5 o'clock. Got more Mike Houston comments, and we'll open up the booty bag, the Pirate Radio booty bag. Make you a winner on today's program. Wager McGhee's looking for winners, and Wager, let's talk NFL. Should I add Chiefs Texans to your board over?
Sure, why not?
Chiefs Texans over 54.5.
From this point forward, after last week, so it's my preseason. I'm going to try to care about picks, and then.
No, we're not going to do that. And you care about your picks.
And NFL definitely because of the contest. So, I mean, we talked about it a little bit. So, the Westgate contest again this year, which is 5 NFL games, and actually decided to do the Circa contest this year too. So, so as we talk about these, now it could change a lot, injuries and COVID testing and stuff like that. But NFL, as I talk about these, a lot of these will be ones that I'm kind of focusing on already, even though we don't have to turn our picks in until Saturday each week. So,
all right, let's go down the list. Shirley Rhodes, Miami Dolphins. Ryan Fitzpatrick, the starter in Foxborough against New England. Patriots, a 6.5-point favorite, total at 43. Cam Newton, Fitzmagic, nothing.
I would lean dog. I'd lean Miami taking the points there, but it's not. There's a ton of games I like this week. So
we'll run through them. If you don't like it, we'll pass it on. All right, Browns at Ravens. Ravens a 7.5-point favorite. over Cleveland. Total is 48.5. We're taking the Ravens, right?
I would, again, conference-wise, I'd like to. I can't find a reason to back the Browns, so I don't want to lay 8 with the Ravens. New head coach, offensive coordinator, defense coordinator, all that for the Browns. And like we talked about that last year, the new head coach in week 1 was 1-6-1 straight up, 2-6 against the spread. So I would probably be Ravens are nothing, but that's too much to lay in week 1, so I'm off of it.
All right, Bills are, and again, oh, by the way, only 2 stadiums will have fans in them this weekend. Kansas City on Thursday night, and the other was Jacksonville, you said, right?
That's what I heard, that both are allowing 16,000 fans. So I don't know how they came up. I guess I didn't think that those 2 had the same capacity and it was the same percentage, but that's what they've said. Then nothing else is fans.
A lot of people on like the Bills this year. They are 7-point favorites. Another division game. 7-point favorites against the Jets. Total at 39.5. Low number there.
It is, which normally you would look to take points with that. So I don't like the coaching staff of the Jets. I do like Darnold, but then they trade away Anderson. Robbie Anderson, maybe wide receiver. The Bills seem to have the same feel around them as the Browns did last year, don't they?
Yeah.
So I was on the Bills that game last year in week 1, how things have changed so much. The Jets were the favorite in that game.
Yeah.
Now Darnold got hurt and then they came back and scored. I remember the Bills won 17-16 as a dog, but I'm not laying almost 7 with the Bills in week 1 when even though they have Diggs, again, he needs work in that offense. So
how about a gut feeling game that I have? The Panthers at home +3. Raiders. I like the home Panthers. By the way, my week 1 gut feel last year, my lock of the century was Eagles, Redskins under, and then Terry McLaurin had an 80-yard touchdown like the first play of the game, and they decided to score with Case Keenum, and I lost it. My gut feel week 1 play this year is the Panthers at home +3.
I am with you. I wanted to get the 3.5 for the contest.
Well, by the way, it says +3 is even right now.
Yeah, it's
so
moving
I guess
the other way.
Yeah.
Kind
of like the over here too.
When you look at things, I know we got 30-year-old Joe Brady offensive coordinator, but I think they needed work. But then also, there's a mystery around what they're going to do, right? It's supposed to be a mix of LSU, New Orleans Saints, Kansas City Chiefs that they're going to do, and they're just going to put as much speed out there as possible. And you take David Carr or Teddy Bridgewater, straight up.
Teddy?
Jacobs or McCaffrey? You take Raiders wide receivers, name them.
DJ Moore. I'm taking the
Moore. Robbie
Taylor's
Anderson.
getting fired up in there now.
I mean,
you're hyping up the Panthers too much, but I like it because I'm on their side here. Now, what about defense?
I think both are going to struggle on defense, but Teddy's never lost a game as a starter. I like getting the 3.5 points.
What do you mean by never?
I don't think he was 5-0 with the Saints last year. I think he's never lost a game as a starter. I think he was undefeated with the
Vikings.
Whatever. Yeah, maybe I'm just making stuff up now.
Since last year,
he's undefeated. He's undefeated. I don't think I'm gonna get 3.5 there, but I'm gonna go home dog in week 1, and another game where I could see some points. I almost think Rule, Brady, Snow, staff is better than what Gruden's got. He's a better coach than Gruden.
Mayock,
whatever it is.
I don't know who else they have. All right, we're on the Panthers, baby. Week 1. Seahawks are a 2-point road favorite against the Falcons. Jeff Nadeau likes this home dog in Atlanta. Total is 49.
I do too. If you look at the only thing about that is the visitor in Seattle games is 12-4-1 against the spread. It's a weird stat, but I'm not going to have that influence too much. Last year, Seattle, when you start looking at numbers, they were bottom 5 in the NFL in the pressure rate and sack rate. They have some issues in the secondary. Now they have 3 new guys, but I think it's going to take a while to work in there. Defensive adjusted, whatever they look at, where you look at really true defense, they were 21st in the league last year. Falcons are going to score against them. I like the home dog. Again, it's 2.5. If you can get 3, great, grab it. it's another one where, just like the Panthers, I could see not only taking the dog, but the home team winning.
All right, another home dog, and this one has moved a point in the last 24 hours. The Washington football team now plus 5.5 against the Eagles. I kind of like my Washington football team this week. Jeff Nadeau got it at 7, so it's going the other way. It's going people on the Washington football team right now. You digging them?
I kind of am. So, I tried to look at all the, obviously Washington, entire new staff and everything, but you're talking about a quality head coach there. Not that the Eagles don't have that, but the Eagles are already like mid to late season form with injuries.
They have a lot of injuries.
Alshon's out. I think the left tackle, Lane Johnson, who stays, he and the Bacteri from the Packers are injured when they just show up to camp and never really seem to play. I'm definitely not jumping on the Eagles. I don't know why everybody's excited about the Eagles either. I'm not a big fan of Haskins. Relearn a new offense, new language, new system, all that stuff. I see people saying it's going to take a while, but once it does, the passes in the middle are suited great for him.
I don't have any faith in their offense really, but I think their Washington defense is going to be really good.
I do too. Jack Del Rio, right? Great hire. He's changed from a 3-4 to a 4-3, but Chase Young on the outside. I don't think he's going to have much time to throw, and if he does, what's he doing? Drop offs to Zach Ertz? They're not going to get any big chunks and big plays against Washington. So, home dog catching 5.5, 6 points. Why not?
3 straight home dogs there. The problem is there's no fans in the stands. That would help the home dog a little bit. All right, Lions are a 3-point favorite against the Bears, total at 44. Colts, 8-point favorite on the road at Jacksonville with fans. Phillip Rivers' debut. That's a lot of points.
It is a lot of points. We talked about it all last year. Who are you blaming the bad favorite situation on with the Chargers? Was it Phillip Rivers is a bad fave, or was it the Chargers are a bad fave? You can go both. Chargers as a favorite last year were 1-8 against the spread. They were also 3-7 against the spread. Again,
I don't have a lot of trust stored in the bank for Phillip Rivers, honestly.
I think it's too many points. They played in week 17 last year, and I know that everybody had their bags packed and they were ready to go. But they played then, and they let Minshew kind of open it up and throw it. He was 27 of 39 for 295 yards and 3 touchdowns. The Jags beat the Colts 38-20 in that game. Again, it didn't matter one way or the other, but doesn't Phillip need a little bit of time to work on this? If
Phillip can turn around and hand the ball to Taylor and Mack and they just pound them and win by 17 points?
They can, because the Jags have traded away their 2 best defensive players this week.
I could kind of see that happening. So
I can too, but it's week 1 in the NFL in 2020. I think it's just as likely to see the Jags just winning straight up as a 9-point dog. So I'm. Before I found out there were going to be 16,000 Jaguar fans, London Jaguar fans there.
Yeah, London.
Did they also own that series? If you put any value into that, I do. They're 8-1-1 against the spread in the last 10 against the Colts.
All right.
I didn't just make that up. Like
what
the
a
Teddy
note.
Bridgewater thing. So.
Never lost a game.
Never lost a game.
All right. Vikings 2.5-point favorites at home against the Packers. Total of 45.
I would like it to get 3, but don't you think Aaron Rodgers on the first game after his backup was drafted for him is going to come out showing having something to prove? So I kind of like the road dog in that case with something to prove. Rodgers or Kirk Cousins, Dalvin Cook playing, not playing. Diggs got traded. They got a rookie there. Even with the limited wide receiver pieces that the Packers have, I think more's in place for the offense than what the Vikings have. So.
Chargers, a road favorite against the Bengals. Chargers -3, 43 the total there.
I think the wrong team's favored in that game.
I would go Bengals if I had to.
I love the same thing as we talked about with the Panthers. Even though Joe Burrow, one of the receivers for the Chargers out. I think the key piece is the defensive, the safety for the Chargers. Derwin James, who a lot of people thought was going to be potentially Defensive Player of the Year, is out for 6 to 8 weeks. It's a little bit of a mystery of what they're going to run, but A.J. Green seems to be a full go. If Mixon plays, T. Higgins, Tyler Boyd, John Ross, there's more offensive weapons for the Chargers or the Bengals, who were actually pretty good as a dog. They finished the year 3-2-1 against the spread as a dog.
But Bosa and Melvin Ingram and that Chargers defense.
I agree, but I mean,
Burrow.
But this guy, the head coach there is, I can't remember his name now, but he came from the McVay tree. And what if you just throw some little quick short passes with the receivers and let them go? Zach
Taylor.
You got all. I mean, you've had the whole time to game plan that. If they kind of minimize the rush a little bit with some screens and some dump offs to guys and stuff like that, get them slowing up a little bit, they're going to be able to hit them deep. And Tyrod and the unrestricted little free agent running back, I think Bengals are a better offense in this thing, and I like them plus the points. Plus they're Chargers again. Chargers or Rivers are a bad favorite and bad
We're
road
fading
team.
both. We're taking both.
Why not? They're one and the same until they separate there.
All right, let me run over the last 5 games. We're short on time, so just let me know if you like any of these. Niners, a 6.5-point favorite against the Cardinals. Totals 48. The Saints facing the Brady Bucks. Saints a 3.5-point favorite in the empty dome against the Bucks. 49 is the total. Cowboys, a road 3-point favorite against the Rams. Total 51.5. Steelers, a 6-point road favorite Monday night against the Giants. Totals 47.5. And the Titans, a late night Monday night favorite on the road, minus 2.5 against Denver. Total is 41.
Love Arizona. Maybe my favorite. It was 7.5. It's moved to 7. It keeps moving down. I was hoping it would stay there. The Super Bowl loser the previous year in week 1 is 3-16 against the spread. When you take out the 2 Patriots covers, the rest of the league since 2000 as a Super Bowl loser is 1-15 against the spread. They're 5-11 straight
Just
up.
on that, you got to take the Cardinals.
Well, in the 2 games last year, too, it was a 28-25 loss, and it was a 10-point game, but that was the game where the Cardinals threw it around, and it got picked up and run to the end zone as time expired. So they lost by 3. They lost by 4. It's another one like we talked about with the Jags that doesn't look good, but if you look at the series, Cardinals are 4-0-1 against the spread. The last 5 in that series, and they're on an 11-5-1 against the spread run. Cardinals last year with Kingsbury were 6-1-1 on the road against the spread, and 49ers not that great at home, 3-4-1. So a little bit overvalued, and I think they are in this spot. It's easy to say Bucks because I think that's going to be a very public team, but the Saints are 0-10 against the spread the weeks 1 and 2 of the season, and really like to just flat out lose as a big favorite.
To like really bad teams.
Yep. They lost to the Bucks 2 years ago.
Yeah.
It was Fitzpatrick, like 48-40. Last year, they kicked a field goal at the end of the game on Monday night to beat the Texans.
Yeah.
But then turned around and lost to the Rams, even though Breeze got hit. Not only are they 0-10 against the spread, they're 2-8 straight up in those games with, again, the field goal at the end of the game.
Should have stuck with Teddy Bridgewater.
Yeah, they should have. He's never lost a game. And Arians' second year with the Cardinals when they struggled in year 1. He turned around second year, was 11-5 against the spread straight up. And I looked at some numbers. If you take out Jameis Winston's, like the Bucks, everybody's going to say, well, they can't stop him. They were 29th in scoring defense. They were, but that factors in 7 pick sixes. Yeah. And they faced a league high 189 drives and inherited the league's worst defensive position that they had to defend because of turnovers and mistakes by Jameis. Tom Brady is not going to turn it over. He's not going to put them in, and they're really good against the run, and that's what the Saints try to establish early. So I like that.
All right, we got to get your top plays because we're out of time.
Those 2.
So Chiefs Texans over, Cardinals +7.
Yep.
Bucks +3.5.
You want to throw in the under? The under is the Steelers game. The Steelers and Giants on that Monday night.
Under 47.5.
How is that 47.5? So here's the stat for you. That's all online today, so it has to be true, right? Pittsburgh as an away favorite of 3 or more points is 119-1 to the under. 21 times in that situation, and the one win was by 1 point. New offensive coordinator for the Giants with Jones. And I think the Steelers are going to keep it pretty simple with Ben and just run the ball and play the best defense in the league there. So,
all right,
that seems like 5 points too high to me.
If you take an under, I'm tailing you because that does not happen often.
I mean, it's either the game that kicks off the Mormon conference and between Utah or BYU, or it's Army who can eat up a whole
missing
quarter.
out on that one this year. All right, we're good.
I think that was Yeah.
If you want to add anything else, let me know. We'll put it on our Pirate Radio picks on Pirate Radio.
Those are just bad luck. So I had string of overs: Kansas City, the Atlanta game, the Carolina game, Dallas Rams, and Tampa Bay, New Orleans. Just to run through, the Dallas and Rams played last year. It was 44-21. You threw that. That was one of the late games. I don't know how Rams are going to stop, Dallas. So anyway.
Okay, all right. We'll reconvene later this week on social media, get wagers picks up. But man, it was fun talking football. Shirley, take us to break. Who's your winner in Richmond this weekend?
Oh, me?
Yeah.
I like the 19 and 18, 19 Truex. Last 2 years, last year Truex won both races at the track. The year before that, it was Kyle 18 that won them. I tried to pull up the odds, but I couldn't. I think they're not posted yet. So my top 5 was 19, 18. So names: Truex, Kyle Busch, Logano, Hamlin, Keselowski. Top 5.
There you go. There's your top 5. Thank you, Wager.
Thank you.
See you next time.
Yep.
Take a time out. Come back. Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live on the way after this.
In studio with Gloria from Kinetic Physical Therapy. What kind of wellness services do you guys offer?
We have massage therapy with your choice of either a relaxation massage, a therapeutic stretching session, or a prenatal massage. We have foot reflexology. We partner with Pirate Cryo for cryotherapy, also known as cold therapy, and we have health and wellness coaching. And if you're interested in holistic body therapy and saving money, we encourage you to check out our wellness membership plan, where you can have all of our wellness services at a constant discounted price. You can learn more today at kptonline.com.
Get your ice cold Bud Light Seltzer here. Even though you can't go to the game, doesn't mean the game can't be brought to you now here. Just go to budlight.com/delivery. That's budlight.com/delivery.
Give me 2 mangoes.
Coming at you. It's a little short. Ow. Sorry. You know what? I'm just going to walk them over to you.
Whenever there's a game to watch, there's a Bud Light there. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch, Bud Light Beer, and Bud Light Seltzer, IRC Beer, beer in Texas, St. Louis, Missouri.
Your power's out. There's a water leak. What do? For these and other utility-related emergencies, you need service, and you want it fast. There are 2 things you can do to get the quickest response if you're a GUC customer. First, you can call the hotline at 1-855-767-2482 and report any utility-related emergency. That number is also on GUC.com. Or second, you can give GUC your phone number. The hotline process is quickest when their account records have your current phone number. Service you can count on. Greenville Utilities.
Hey, Pirate fans, the Papa John's menu has grown again with the all-new grilled buffalo chicken papadilla. The papadillas are part sandwich, part pizza, and are only $6. Choose from the all-new grilled buffalo chicken, Philly cheesesteak, Italian, pepperoni meatball, and barbecue chicken and bacon, all for only $6 each. Also, for a limited time, get any large 5-topping pizza for only $13.99. Place your order today online at papajohns.com and sign up for Papa Rewards. Papa John's, the official pizza of the ECU Pirates.
Summertime is here with hot temperatures, thunderstorms, and hurricanes. It's easy to recognize pests invading your home, but a lot of people forget about moisture destroying your home's crawl space. Pest Tech is celebrating its 20th year protecting your homes using dehumidifiers, professional-grade liners, and most importantly, our licensed and highly trained technicians. Visit pesttechofgreenville.com for a free estimate on moisture control and the other silent destroyer, termites. Trust your home to the best. Pest Tech of Greenville, your East Coast exterminating professionals.
Hey, this is Chef Dave Finelli. Have you got $60 extra a week, or you just got $60 a week? I can feed you dinner 6 nights a week for total $60. Maybe you haven't heard about this, my Heart Healthy Home Meals. I give you 6 meals a week. You pick them up at Pops. It's $60 a week. I guarantee you go out to eat one time, you spend more than $60. I guarantee you, if you go to the grocery store one time, you spend more than $60. And then you still got to tip, and then you still got to cook and prep and worry. Forget all that. I got you. $60 a week. Let me know. I'm right there at Pops. You know how to reach me.
Register for Army ROTC to be a leader and an officer in the U.S. Army, Army Reserve, or Army National Guard. You could also be eligible for a full tuition scholarship. Lead the team that makes a difference. To learn more, contact Dale Anderson at 252-622-5346 or Anderson, DAL, at ECU.edu. Paid for by the United States Army.
Hi, I'm Annalie Newhoff.
And I'm Rob Campbell.
And we are with CopyPro. We have been locally owned and operated here in Eastern North Carolina for almost 50 years. CopyPro is the leader in office technology.
Does your business struggle with keeping printing costs low or producing professional documents? Here at CopyPro, total customer satisfaction is our #1 priority.
We have a variety of solutions to help reduce your printing expenses and make your business more productive. Call us today at 1-800-682-6558 or online at copypro.net.
CopyPro, we are the professional office systems people.
This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, 1250 and 92.7 FM Greenville, WDLX Washington, 930 and 104.1 FM Washington. You're listening to Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour of PRL is brought to you by the Auto Store Group. Pirate owned and operated for over 38 years. Shop their entire inventory today at theautostoregroup.com. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. If you're in the market for quality used vehicles, then the Auto Store Group is for you. The Auto Store Group has 3 locations and over 150 quality used vehicles to choose from for all budgets. Shop their entire inventory today at theautostoregroup.com. And remember, every purchase comes with a free bucket of fun. The Auto Store Group, your hometown store and Pirate owned and operated for over 38 years. Now let's head back in to Pirate Radio Live. Here's your host, Clip Brock.
Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live here on a Wednesday. Clip Brock in the Pirate Radio studios. Bryce Williams joining me. And he can hear now.
There we go.
Can you hear me now? Bryce Williams, good to go. Here inside the Pirate Radio studios, we'll visit with the voice, Jeff Charles, for a few minutes. Coming up in just a moment, we got more Mike Houston cuts to run. We got some football to talk about, Bryce.
Thank goodness.
Yes, sir. As we get closer and closer to game day for the third time, September 26th, the kickoff, ECU and UCF. We will talk about that and a lot more here in hour number 3. Also, make you a winner in the Pirate Radio booty bag later on this hour as well. Let's take a time out, Shirley. We'll come back, kick off hour number 3 of Pirate Radio Live after this.
Hey Pirate Nation, this is Tom Brown from Brown & Wood Buick GMC Truck. We've been serving the Pirate Nation in Eastern North Carolina for 83 years. We have 4 brands, 3 generations, 2 showrooms, and 1 goal to make sure you leave a happy customer.
This month at Brown & Wood, save over $9,000 off on the all-new 2020 Buick Envision. Remember, Brown & Wood is the home for the lifetime powertrain warranty for all makes and models.
We're located on Greenville Boulevard next to the Convention Center, or shop us online at brownandwoodauto.com.
Love Jersey Mike's subs? Love them times 12 with our new catering box. Packed full of a dozen individually wrapped subs. They're yours for the sharing. Jersey Mike's. Be a sub above. Tired of cooking at home? Change it up without getting up. Just order Jersey Mike's through our app for no contact delivery or no contact at the door pickup. Jersey Mike's. Be a sub above.
Here today with the closed hand, also known as Denton Hardy to his friends and family. Why F3?
Because it's at a time in my life when I need a little bit of purpose, and to get up in the morning and to get going for the day, it helps me.
1 letter, 1 number, F3. Fitness, fellowship, and faith. All workouts are free of charge and open to all men. Leave no man behind, but leave no man where you find him. Learn more today at f3enc.com.
If you're like many, you may have put on the Corona 5, 10, or even 15 over the last 2 months. Well, the weather is warm and it's time to get that body back on track. At Clean Eats, we have you covered. Our weekly meal plan will quickly help you get back to where you want to be. Order online at cleaneats.com. Our cafe is back open, sanitized, and waiting to serve you healthy lunch and dinner options for dine-in, takeout, curbside, or even delivered through our delivery partners. Clean Eats, it's a lifestyle. 805 Red Banks Road, Arlington Village.
Know what I like most about my new phone from US Cellular?
I don't know.
That it was $700 off.
What? Switch to US Cellular and get $700 off the latest phones. US Cellular. Choose fair.
Promotional pricing requires an unlimited everyday or even better plan. New line, port-in, credit approval, qualified smartphone purchase, and comes via monthly bill credit on a 30-month retail installment contract. Taxes, fees, and additional restrictions apply.
Does the idea of going to your local U.S. Cellular store make you feel a bit uncomfortable? Tired of the hassle of waiting and wearing a mask? Let Toby Williams and its outside sales team take away that worry. They will come right to your home or office and drop your phone off on the porch or at the front desk for you. Saving you time and worry is what the team at Cellular Warehouse is all about. Call Toby today at 252-799-7051 and let them help you with all of your wireless needs. Cellular Warehouse, your local U.S. Cellular authorized agent.
The icy treat that can't be beat is Sparky Snowballs of Greenville. Right now, for a special time, Sparky Snowballs is open every day from noon to 8 in the Food Truck Rodeo on the corner of Evans Street and Fire Tower Road. Stop by for a delicious icy treat. Plus, did you know Sparky's also has funnel cakes and fried Oreos too? Support your local Food Truck Rodeo every day from noon to 8 on the corner of Evans Street and Fire Tower Road. Sparky Snowballs, serving delicious icy treats to smiling faces for over 20 years. Visit Sparky's on Facebook or sparkysnowballs.com.
With rates being historically low, now is the best time to buy or refinance your home. This is Talbot Green with Angel Oak Home Loans. Now is the time to take advantage of the opportunity to buy more home or refinance your current mortgage. The combination of our local team's experience and Angel Oak's wide offerings of products from standard conventional, government, and portfolio loans has something for most financial situations. For more information, call Talbot Green, Joanne Weir, or Wanda Hager at 751-2060.
NMLS 1719250 and 685-842. Equal housing lender.
Pirate Radio 1250 and 930.
And you write that down, because when you're at East Carolina, you go for it every time. Or you don't coach at East Carolina, you don't come to East Carolina, you don't play at East Carolina with a weak heart. Write it!
The voice of the Pirate Nation. You're listening to Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour of PRL is brought to you by the Auto Store Group. Pirate owned and operated for over 38 years. Shop their entire inventory today at theautostoregroup.com. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Live well, move more, and hurt less with Kinetic Physical Therapy. If you're recovering from an injury, getting back into sports, dealing with everyday pain or fatigue, then Kinetic Physical Therapy can help you get back on track and live well. Kinetic has national certified therapists for physical, occupational, speech, and massage therapy, all in a state-of-the-art facility on Arlington Boulevard in Greenville. Visit them online at kineticptgreenville.com. Now let's head back in to Pirate Radio Live. Here's your host, Clip Rock.
Alrighty, Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. Clip Rock here, and Bryce Williams, former ECU tight end, hanging out inside the Pirate Radio studios. Bryce, good to see you again, man.
Thanks for having me.
Had some football on the TV last week. Got NFL cranking up tomorrow night. It'll be Chiefs and Texans coming up Thursday night, then a full slate of games on Sunday. And I love the Week 1 Monday night doubleheader. They'll do that again this year. So
nice.
A lot of football. Yeah, going to be on the TV. Have you watched anything yet, Bryce? Are you still waiting for ECU? Or?
I think I'm waiting for the team I really care about. That's ECU. Maybe once I watch that first game, then I'll be juiced up and ready to watch some other teams.
I'll tell you who looked good. Your Marshall boys. Looked pretty good over the weekend. Blowout victory over Eastern Kentucky. We will talk more with Bryce in a moment. We will visit with the voice now, Jeff Charles, as he joins us on the Fixed NC Live line. Jeff, how you doing today?
Cliff, I'm doing great. Hope you and Shirley and Bryce are doing well today as well.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much. We are. And Jeff, top story today comes from the world of college basketball. This one is an out there idea, which I don't know if it has much of a chance of happening. But the ACC basketball coaches have come together and said they want an all-inclusive NCAA tournament where every team makes the tournament. Now, a lot of this, I guess, going into it is they are expecting a limited or no non-conference basketball season when it comes to college basketball. And, you don't know how any of this is going to look. But the fact that they all got together, Jeff, and voted on it and all came away unanimous that they want a college basketball, NCAA basketball tournament with all the teams involved. I did not expect to see that story here on a Wednesday. What's your take on that?
Well, it's news to me. I haven't looked at the internet too much this afternoon, Clip. But does that mean the Pirates can hang their third NCAA tournament banner in Minji's Coliseum?
That is exactly what it means. And I was thinking about that earlier, Jeff. You on the call as the Pirates lose in round 2 of the AAC tournament to Memphis, and then you say, we're headed to the big dance. The Pirates lose, and they're headed to the tournament. So, I don't know. It's a wacky idea. I've seen Mark Emmert talk about a tournament bubble that would have 68 or less teams in it. So, again, these are all spitball ideas. I kind of go back to when Major League Baseball was spitballing about what they were going to do with their season, have it in Florida and Arizona and all those ideas. But, again, the ACC coaches did come together on this, so we'll see how much pull and clout they have in the college basketball world.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see, Clip. There was a story a few weeks ago. I can't remember if we talked about it on your show or not, but I think there was a writer somewhere. I can't even remember who he was writing for, but he came up with this regionalized tournament where all these schools would play, at a specific location, basically in a bubble. It was something along the same lines, and he had one of the locations being Richmond, and he had East Carolina going to Richmond with a lot of the schools from the Mid-Atlantic region playing in some type of tournament there. Mm-hmm. So there are all kinds of theories out there. There are all kinds of plans out there. But we've got to stop the virus first, Cliff. I mean, that's the first domino that has to fall. And, here we are again with football with this stopping and starting. And we got the news today that the Temple game with Navy has been postponed to October the 10th. And then Louisiana Tech has had an outbreak of COVID cases. And their game with Baylor this Saturday has been called off. And that's been my worst fear this entire fall, that we're going to be on this start and stop deal throughout the entire football season, and it's just going to be hard to follow the game. It's going to be hard for the players and the coaches and the fans and really everybody involved if there's really no rhythm to the season in playing once a week.
And of
so
course,
that's kind of what we're dealing with, and we're all trying to make the best of it.
The Pirates are preparing for the third time for their season opener, Jeff. It was supposed to be in late August versus Marshall, then the 12th against Marshall, and now the 26th against UCF, as ECU set to host the Knights coming up in a couple of weeks. But again, they have had their, 2 pauses just in preparation for this season and are currently at practice, getting ready for their third scrimmage this weekend, Voice. And again, you're kind of away from things literally, geographically. How about, following what's going on? That's been an issue for us right down the road at campus this year, Jeff. We're doing Zooms with Mike Houston, but we're not able. I used to go out and see you once a week at practice every day talking to the players. We're unable to kind of communicate with them and talk to the coaches. So everybody, it's just a giant question mark around all these football teams, and especially, of course, the one we cover in East Carolina.
And of course, everybody's in the same boat, Cliff, and I'm still trying to get my head around the fact that if the Pirates do play on September 26th, what it's going to be like to broadcast the game with no fans in the stands. I just can't quite get my head around it. At this point, it's going to seem surreal. It's going to seem like, are we really playing a game here? But that looks like what is going to happen, at least as we talk today. And so we're trying to mentally prepare for that. I am mentally preparing, too, for the game and looking a lot closer just this week to UCF. And, yeah, they're good. We all know that. I mean, they're 21st ranked preseason for a reason. And they've got that fine quarterback back. Dylan Gabriel is back. We understand Mackenzie Milton, who was so good for them a couple of years ago and had the devastating leg injury, that he's probably not going to be ready to play, maybe early this season, but it looks like his recovery is going well after he missed all of last year.
Wow.
And they've got, I think, like 3 starters in the offensive line back. They've got 3 of their top 4 running backs back. They've got like 3 or 4 of their top receivers back. Davis, the really good one they had last year, was an NFL draft pick. And they think their defense is going to be really good, too. And then the other concern for Pirate fans going into that game is that UCF will already have a game under its belt. They played Georgia Tech the week before, and then the Pirates, of course, have to open with UCF. So, you talk about jumping into the fire for the Pirates, the first game of the year. They're playing arguably what has been certainly the best football program in the American in the last few years, and another team that they're expecting again this year to be in the top 25.
Jeff, and you bring up Mackenzie Milton there, and you talk about the science and the medicine a lot, and modern medicine, and I think about Alex Smith for Washington, and there was thoughts that he might have to lose his leg, Jeff, and now he's back on the Washington roster. as a quarterback. Mackenzie Milton going to give it another go. He suffered a gruesome injury. And we take it for granted too, right? The players that have these season-ending injuries and bounce back. Von Miller unfortunately suffered an injury yesterday, and we just say, well, he's going to miss the season, but he'll be fine. He'll be ready to go next year. We don't think about everything that goes into it, and it's incredible that these guys can get back at it and not just live a normal life, but actually play sports again.
Yeah, it really is, Clip, and it's what modern medicine is today, and I think we do take it for granted how far it has come. I mean, you go back not that many years, maybe 15 years ago, and all of these injuries we're talking about, I mean, they were career-ending injuries for these guys. And now, as you mentioned, with the way things are, with what they can do, these guys can get back out on the field or get back out on the court, and sometimes they're just as good as ever, sometimes even better in the case of some pitchers who go through Tommy John surgery and those kinds of operations. Look how far that has come. I mean, those guys 25 years ago just blew their arms out, and they ended up taking a normal 8-to-5 job like everybody else, but now they take less than a year off, and they start throwing again, and then they're back out there the next year. So all these guys who are making all this money, Clip, and are multimillionaires, they need to give a tip of the cap to modern medicine, because that's what's gotten them back out there competing again.
Jeff, haven't talked any Major League Baseball with you in a few weeks, but in this crazy 2020 season, we thought, it's a sprint, not a marathon. Maybe a surprise team or two could come out of the bunch. And how about the Baltimore Orioles, now just a half game behind the Yankees for the final playoff spot in the American League? I was just looking at the standings, Jeff, and the Tigers, I know you follow them out there, 2 games under 500 right now. So we'll see if they can keep hanging in there. But I'm completely shocked the O's are where they are at this point in the season.
Yeah, I am too, Clip. And you mentioned 2 teams that have been real surprises. But Baltimore's developed some good young players, and the Tigers are doing the same thing too. The Tigers, in another year or two, they may be right there competing seriously in a 162-game season. They've got some terrific prospects coming in: Spencer Torkelson, who was the number 1 draft pick, and Riley Green, who was a high draft pick in the year previous. And they've got that great young pitching too. So keep your eye on Detroit. They've really got a lot of good young players coming through the system. And I think everybody's surprised with the Orioles. And, they've got some guys that pop up in the box score. You say, who's that? Like this kid, this rookie, this Montcastle. And, he hit another home run last night, and Rio Ruiz has been hitting the ball well, and some of their young pitchers have come along too. So, what's amazing now is that it seems like the baseball season has just started, and we're talking about runs for division championships, and it seems like we've only been playing 2 or 3 weeks. And now here we are getting close to mid-September, and the stretch drive is really on for these teams. And I think that's what makes it so interesting, Cliff, is that all these games are so very important now. And these teams have a lot to play for here in the next couple weeks.
It is crazy about the amount of sports going on in the sports world right now. And we're going to have NFL cranking up on Pirate Radio coming up Thursday, and 3 games Sunday, 2 games coming up Monday night right here on Pirate Radio. So if you're a sports fan, you got plenty of options out there, that's for sure. Jeff Charles joining us on the Fixed NC Live Line. Jeff, always enjoy a few minutes of your time on Wednesdays here on Pirate Radio Live, and we'll do it again next week.
Sounds great, Cliff. Thanks so much.
Thank you for joining us. There's the voice, Jeff Charles, on the Fixed NC Live Line. Hoping to hear Jeff and Kevin Monroe on the call when the Pirates get their season underway on the 26th. Bryce Williams joining me here inside the Pirate Radio studios. And Bryce, Jeff talked about the starting and the stopping. At least ECU has been back practicing for a couple of weeks now. They have their 3rd scrimmage coming up. How many scrimmages? What do you usually do? Like 2 scrimmages in the fall?
Yeah,
normally?
I think it was just 2 in the fall. I think the first one was closed to parents and for the fans, and I want to say that second one, family, friends, and other fans could come see. So getting 3 in, I guess that's a good thing.
Well, we were talking before we went on the air. I was asking you what kind of football you followed over the weekend, and you said, well, I know Navy got blown out. Yeah. And I was telling you that apparently they're not tackling a practice, which that's something, and I don't know, I'll ask you while you're here, outside of a scrimmage, how many drills do you do tackling? And you're an offensive player, obviously, but how much are you getting tackled at practice going into the season?
We hardly ever. Well, most of the time, we may have a very few like full go to the ground practices. A lot of it was thud, but I know defense. They're constantly working on just the proper technique, wrapping up. Your tracking of the players, the drills that they'll practice all the time during warm-ups, and then during individual period, whether it's bags or going against each other. So it was definitely a thing we worked on, every day.
Yeah.
So that's, yeah.
To not tackle is crazy, and we kind of saw it on Monday night as BYU was able to run all over them, and maybe these scrimmages will put ECU ahead of the bar a little bit. I don't know. I'm trying to find a positive for being pushed back so many times.
Right. Yeah, as I was sort of thinking about it, I said, you get tired of going against the same guys every day, but yet again, they haven't gone against each other as near as much because of all the start-stopping. So, I mean, a scrimmage definitely, kind of gives the guys a little bit of that, more a live situationals, and and I think Coach Houston and his guys, that staff likes to go to the ground a lot, which I think definitely improves the defensive guys as far as their tackling and just practicing their angles, and then as far as the offensive guys, just practicing ball security when you're actually getting hit, and then going to the ground. So I mean, I think a third scrimmage will definitely be beneficial for this team.
One thing we love, Bryce, we being the talking heads, is a depth chart. Something to look at, something to break down, to dissect. And Mike Houston was asked how close he is to establishing a depth chart.
I think we're close. The tough thing that we're battling right now with this deal is, all those guys that were out because during the pause, getting them back and getting them participating in practice because they haven't been with us, and that's been a real challenge because a lot of those guys are frontline guys. So I think we're getting closer. I think we're getting a lot of guys reps. So I think that it's a little bit different than most years where you kind of try to establish a two deep and maybe who's next. I mean, now I think you're looking at where your room sits overall at each and every position.
Everything's kind of secretive within a football program, and now I think back when you played, it was kind of the tail end of it, but we actually had an injury report, like Bryce Williams, questionable shoulder, something like that. Now we don't get anything. With a depth chart, is that just something that's put out online and the fans and us can look at it? Or is that, discussed, talked about within the football team?
They never just say, you don't really ever see the depth chart. You just kind of get a gist of who's.
You're running with the ones.
Exactly.
Type of thing.
Yeah. So, they'll say, hey, you're running with the ones today, or you haven't been doing too hot. Okay, you're back, you're running with the twos, and or you could really get demoted and say, all right, you're gonna run scout team. So yeah, we don't ever really just see it on paper. You just see it in practice, who stands where.
Yeah. And let's see, at what point you were number one quite a few years. Did you ever have to sit did you sit behind anybody ever?
I guess never. Well, 2012, that was when Justin Jones was my first year, but I was eligible to play, but since they had kind of things established, I got moved up to, the travel squad stuff. But ever since 2013, depending on what formation we wanted to start out at, if it was a tight end set, if it was 12 or 11, depending on what it was, I would start the game. And, as me being I guess the big Y and Hardy being a Y, Hardy would start there. But, there were times I would be starting, and then, of course, senior year and everything, I was the ones.
Mike Houston was asked about if he had an update on the numbers that of players that have been held out of practice, Charlie.
Well, the number's getting smaller and smaller. That's my update. So hopefully we'll have everybody back practicing by next week.
Like I said, everything's secretive. The numbers getting smaller.
That reminded me like almost the Bill Belichick answer, just being very vague. But I mean, that's all. I could see him just saying, numbers getting smaller, and that's about all there is to it. Cut and dry. But I guess y'all want a little more meat on the.
We want a little more meat, but I understand. I see both sides of it.
Yeah,
we want to give away all the information you got. We want that information.
Yeah.
What was it? Were you ever instructed on how to talk to us? Don't talk about injuries. Don't talk about
No, not in the college level. No, we just I think they just sort of let us talk what we want. I guess at that time, I guess for me, I just didn't answer the question.
Well, you sound just like you do now as you did as a player. Like, well, had a good day of practice today. It went all right. Shane was throwing it pretty good.
Yeah.
Like, you were a normal dude.
Yeah, I tried to give, the best description I can. So,
Justin Hardy, I think he didn't like to talk to us. And he was very short. Like, he wasn't rude or anything.
Yeah.
But it was just like, Justin, That catch you made last week, describe that play. Like, well, ran out for a pass, caught it. It was a touchdown. It was a good play. Like, he would be like that. We'd be like, oh, give me something more. But there's certain guys, like Zeke Bigger would talk to us for 2 hours.
Oh, that doesn't surprise me.
He loved to talk, and we loved to talk to him because he was awesome at it.
Oh, yeah.
So, just about guys' personalities.
Oh, yeah, definitely, for sure. Justin, Hardy's, I think, quiet guy for the most part. But then you got on the other end of the spectrum, you got Zeke, and Zeke will talk.
All right, I wanted to let's take a break, Shirley. I got a few more cuts I want Bryce to hear and comment on. Tell you what, as we go to break, we don't even know what we're giving away. Do you have the list, Shirley?
Why is it on the table?
Booty, 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 booty everywhere. Booty, 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 booty everywhere.
Why don't we give away some pizza today?
From
Domino's.
Domino's of Greenville. A large 2-topping pizza to Domino's can be yours if you are caller number 12. 317-1250. 317-1250. Caller 12 is a winner out of the Pirate Radio Booty Bag. More with Bryce Williams on the way after this.
At Tiebreakers, we pride ourselves on serving
big, juicy wings.
I'm talking
big and juicy.
Our chickens are the same ones that kick sand in the other chickens' faces. If our chickens played football, they'd be linebackers. The competition's chickens, they'd be
skinny little kickers.
Trade those kickers in for linebackers.
Tiebreakers is open every day at 11 a.m. Follow Tiebreakers on Facebook and Instagram for daily updates.
How much does the word reliable mean? Sure, all businesses describe themselves as reliable, and we certainly wouldn't expect any business to be unreliable, but when you take a word like reliable and make it your way of life, the entire core of your business, it tends to mean a little more. And it's something you have to show people, not tell them. At Delcor, we show it by being there the same day you call. We show it by simply doing outstanding work with exceptional products, a family-oriented work ethic, and genuine caring for all of our neighbors throughout Eastern NC, because in a time of need, we know the first and the only thing you need is someone you can count on. That's why we only use equipment you can count on too, like a train comfort system. It's hard to stop a train. Delcor can have a new train comfort system installed in no time, or we can provide an AC tune-up to make sure your system is performing well. So will your system keep you cool all summer? Find out. Call us. We're Delcor, the service professionals, reliable for over 4 decades. Visit DelcorInc.com today.
North Carolina state parks are now open for visitors. Parks should be used for exercise, fresh air, getting out in nature, or a day trip as the state safely reopens. Visitors should enjoy themselves, but please remember the 3 W's. Wear face coverings, wait 6 feet apart, and wash your hands often. Focus on moving through the park, keep social distancing in mind, and avoid large groups. While most facilities and activities will be open, please contact any state park before your visit with questions or visit ncparks.gov/open. It's time to get back in the saddle with Rocking Horse Ranch. Join us Saturday, November 14th for an evening filled with games and prizes to support the reopening of the Rocking Horse Ranch Therapeutic Riding Program. Rocking Horse Ranch provides a fun and unique therapy program to our special needs, cancer, and veterans community. The horses miss their favorite students and can't wait to see them again soon. And Rocking Horse cannot do this without you. Join us November 14th to get back in the saddle or visit rhrnc.com for more information.
Wouldn't it be great if you could get auto, home, life, and business insurance all from one agency? Well, that's where the Gavigan Agency comes in. They can help protect what is important to you. So why not simplify your life? See the Gavigan Agency in Greenville or give them a call today at 252-756-1400. Nationwide is on your side.
Nationwide Mutual Insurance Company and Affiliates, Columbus, Ohio. Subject to underwriting guidelines, review, and approval.
Looking for your next career opportunity or even just some extra cash to help pay for school? Your locally owned Dixon Foods McDonald's is hiring across Eastern North Carolina. They offer flexible hours, competitive pay, and even financial support to pursue your education through McDonald's Archways to Opportunity program. With plans to provide more than 100 new jobs currently, we hope you'll visit DixonFoods.com to learn more. Dixon Foods, proud to be your locally owned and locally operated franchisee for McDonald's.
Every team knows that the 2-point play can be a winning move. That's why I'm here. State Farm agent Timothy Sawyer and my team are here to help you go for 2 by combining your home and auto insurance. It's a great call that saves you time and money. So go for the win and score some savings by combining your home and auto. It's just another way we're here to help life go right. Call me, Timothy Sawyer, at 493-0002 today.
This is former ECU football player Bryce Williams, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour of PRL is brought to you by the Auto Store Group. Pirate owned and operated for over 38 years. Shop their entire inventory today at theautostoregroup.com. Now back to the show.
Welcome back. And the stock market bounced back from a rough day yesterday. The Dow closed out up 439 points and finished at 27,940. The NASDAQ is up 293 points at 11,141, and the S&P is up 67 at 3,398. That's your Wells Fargo Advisors financial report. For a personal look into investing, call Wells Fargo Advisors today at 756-6900 in Greenville. Wells Fargo Advisors, LLC, member SIPC. Now let's head back into Pirate Radio Live. Here is your host, Clip Brock.
Thank you, Shirley. Chan Man is here. Congratulations to
Lou Lassiter of Greenville.
Lou, double L. Lou Lassiter with the win. Congratulations. Won a large 2-topping pizza to Domino's. We'll open up the booty bag once again on Thursday when Troy D is here in the 5 o'clock hour. And on Friday when Rick Smith is here during the 5 o'clock hour. Got the old defensive coordinator rolling in here. So looking forward to that. All right, Bryce Williams here as we speak. I need to get some glasses like Brady Quinn has. He looks really smart.
He does.
It just adds like 4 points to your IQ.
For sure.
If you put some glasses on.
Should have worn that in school.
You think it would have helped?
Maybe.
Bryce Williams here. Shirley, let's hear about a cornerback on this team that had a good freshman season, that we hope to have a good sophomore season out of. Jaquan Millen, cut 6, Shirley. Mike Houston talked about his progress.
First, he's having an outstanding preseason, and he's a guy that I'm so grateful he's in our program because he plays the game the way I want all of them to play. He has that edge. He's a smart player, has ability, but he plays with a chip on his shoulder. And he is not an extremely vocal guy. He'll show some emotion every once in a while. But he very much does set the example with the way he plays every single snap. He's a guy that you can use to teach and young guys to learn from.
He was a freshman standout. We have been looking for some talent and a game changer and impact guy at cornerback, and Jaquan McMillan can be that guy. The interesting thing I took out of that was when he said he's not much of a talker, shows emotion every now and then, but I think back to we were talking about Josh Hawkins a minute ago, who's on the practice squad with the Falcons, and all the corners really, Bryce, like to run their mouths a little bit, right?
I was going to say, follow up was like, how corners typically are that I know, and man, they like to talk, and regardless if the ball was uncatchable, they think they did something and they'll do a gesture, and I'm like, what in the world? And
what are you celebrating?
Yeah, I was like, so I was already thinking, Yeah, DB. And then he said, "Not a talkative guy." I was like, "Whoa, wait a second." So I couldn't speak too soon on that, but that'd probably be nice to go against a corner that doesn't talk.
That just makes the play
exactly.
and goes about his way.
Exactly. So,
all right, another guy we're hoping can step up is Nigel Nod, but Stephen Igo asked him about a health update and where he's at right now. I guess he's been banged up, and here's what Coach Houston had to say.
He's struggling to get on the field right now. Hopefully he'll get out there at some point.
That is not a positive answer there. When you say hopefully he can get out there at some point.
Yeah, and that was a short answer.
Yeah.
That's tough. I guess it's sort of a better situation, I guess in a way. If you're hurt in NFL, you kind of during training camp, especially or whatnot, you kind of, as I say, can't make the club in the tub, and that pretty much holds true. But in college, I guess it's just all about proving to the coaches you can play and your assignment and you're ready to play. But if you can't stay healthy, that's just going to keep setting you back. And we had several guys that just seemed to never make the field, and then they ended up just sort of dwindling away. Which hopefully that's obviously not saying it's going to case with him, but yeah, especially being a college player, you want to get out there and play and be part of the team, represent the school, but you kind of get lost in the mix and in the shadows if you're not on the field.
How were you health-wise throughout your ECU career? I mean, I remember you being on the field pretty much every week. Did you ever have health issues?
Yeah, thankfully I had my whole collegiate career without any injuries that kept me from a game. I had. Yeah, I remember one time it was like my first. I pulled a hamstring during. I think it was my senior year. I pulled a hamstring during fall camp, and I kind of was like, not scared, but I was like, oh my goodness, how long is this gonna keep me out? It's my senior year. Kind of worked up about it, and I've had a bunch of sprained knees and things like that, but most of the times I could get wrapped up in some sort. My shoulder probably could have. Had a rest, but again, it's something you kind of just play with and can, like I said, with all the braces and techniques of taping, you can pretty much roll with anything.
Put enough duct tape, and they'll get you back out.
Oh goodness, yeah! I remember Jake had to. It's my shoulder. He would have to do all sorts of taping and wrapping for my shoulder, and then I would wear a brace. So. I guess it got worked up. I was like the guy off of Christmas Story, all bundled up, and couldn't really move my arms. But I tell you, he did a good job taping me, and it worked.
All right, Shirley, cut 8. We were talking about the secondary here with McMillan and Nod. What guys have stood out in the secondary?
Well, I think you've got a lot of guys that are coming along quite nicely, and Sean Dorso has really been a pleasant surprise. Warren Saba is playing the best I've seen him play since I've been here. Juwan Powell, Malik Fleming, I'll tell you what, there's a lot of fight in that guy too. All those guys are doing a great job. You got some other guys, Tank missed a little bit of time. He's back now. Robert Kennedy's missed a little bit of time. He's coming back soon. Nolan Johnson's having a pretty steady, solid preseason camp. And then, some of our young kids, David Laney and Sean Tucker, those guys have done some good things as well.
Speaking of young kids, there's a lot on the defensive line. You've got 4 starters gone from last year, and cut 10, Shirley, Coach Houston was asked about if any leaders have emerged on that D-line.
Well, first, there's an army of them. That's the good thing. We have great depth. Really happy with the group. I think you're going to look for years and really be excited about this group because we got them for multiple years. Very pleased with Chris Willis. I think he's come in and he's been what I'd hoped he would be, which is an experienced older player with good practice habits. Has some fire and intensity in him, and really does a good job of just being that disciplined player that you hope you would have in an older guy. So I think he's shown a lot of that to those younger guys, and has not come in here with a big ego either. He's come in here and just worked. Other guys, you've had some spot stuff from some guys. Hosey and D'Angelo obviously have a little bit of experience, and they do a good job with leadership. They've been kind of in and out of the lineup. I think Demir Faison has, I think he's a guy that's ready to see some significant action this year. And I think you've got a bunch of young kids that, every day they're getting better. And every day that they're gaining more experience, they're going to improve.
All right, there is Mike Houston talking about the defensive line. That is I would say a spot of worry a bit if you're a Pirate fan going into this year, just due to the lack of experience, Bryce. I think we have a very talented future defensive line, very excited for the future of that position, but just a lack of game experience in there, and it makes you worry a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely want to have, I guess not say he doesn't have confidence in, but, no game experience, you can't really replace it without playing and getting the confidence during the game. You build confidence by obviously playing games and understanding just little nuances with, during the game and everything. And, D-line's huge when it's, third and short and, and that keeps them from the red zone. And, but I remember when, D-line for our guys, it's like we pretty much felt good that if they were going to run the ball, we were going to stop, even with our linebackers we had. And, definitely having a D-line where you say, oh, it's third and short, they can run it if they want, but they won't get it. And, it's huge. So, hopefully those guys, get confidence quick throughout the season and, can, help out the team.
Blake Harrell, new defensive coordinator. These scrimmages got to be good for him going into a third scrimmage this week to finally get his guys on the field and see the plan in his head and the plan he's implemented on paper displayed out on the football field. And Coach Houston was asked how Blake Harrell's defense is looking right now.
I think we're getting back to where we were. I think the pause maybe hurt us a little bit more defensively than it did offensively because it's a new system and you have a lot of young players. But, I think they're improving every day. I think they're having, better and better days every day. The one thing is, they get challenged. They get challenged offensively. I like a lot of the stuff our offense is doing. I think we're playing with a little more edge and physicality than what we did last year. I really like that. I think it challenges our defense. I think it's something I'm really pushing, the team to have is that a little more of a chip on your shoulder mentality. And so I think that, everybody's improving because of that competition.
All right, the head football coach of the Pirates, Mike Houston, finally he was asked about when exactly is that next scrimmage. Shirley, cut 14.
Hopefully as long as we don't miss a day this week, we're going to have that Friday afternoon. And we're working towards that and really want to get a lot of situations there with officials. We had officials here last Saturday for practice and had some competitive live work there with some situations. But, now you're just trying to get guys, experience in those different things that come up during the game, especially the late game stuff. So we'd like to get that done Friday afternoon and then, give the guys, a little bit of time off their legs Saturday. Look at the film Sunday and then start getting ready for UCF.
All right, the plan starting to come together, Bryce, for, kind of game week and preparing for UCF. And how is that? Is that any easier, I guess is the word, when you're preparing for a team rather than when you're just beating up on each other? You know what I'm saying? Like, what's the difference between a game week preparation and the fall camp stuff they're doing right now?
I mean, you're always fine-tuning. Once you sort of go through fall camp, you keep doing them at the same plays over and over, which there's nothing wrong with that because, the more comfortable you are with your assignment, obviously the better you'll do and the less you have to think. But, definitely when you start, game prep for the player, for the other team, it's definitely, it gets exciting because you're like, all right, this is what I'm about to be exposed to. This, start getting that advantage on the team, different looks they may be given, what's to come, what to pay attention to. So I think it's definitely exciting, one, because, all right, it's game way. I get to look at somebody, different looks. And you got a game's coming. So these guys have been waiting for that for a long time.
How much did you enjoy the classwork, the film work, the film study on an opponent? Would you rather be out on the field than doing that?
Yeah, it's good to sort of get a look. I was sort of a guy, and I watched film and tried to, get to know the defenders and sort of I pay attention to a lot of sort of who I'm going up against as far as size, what to sort of expect, watch them a little bit, see how they play. I enjoyed that part, but of course being on the field definitely was a lot better.
Shirley, I know you're ready for a game week and we're gonna get it sooner rather than later.
I'm ready.
Been ready. Ready.
Yeah, I've been ready since like August.
Yep. We have been waiting and counting down the days, and the days keep getting further away. But September 26th is that day, ECU and UCF. We'll take our final time out. We will come back and get our Pirate Radio Outdoors with Bryce Williams report. see what he was up to this week on the boat, and otherwise that on the way on Pirate Radio Live after this.
Hey guys, do you not look your best? Do your hair and nails need some work? When is the last time you looked at your feet? Guys, I can assure you that the ladies love a nicely groomed man. I'm Amanda and I have the solution. The Man Cave is now open, offering salon services for men only. Men, come enjoy the complimentary lounge before or after your service with free food, drinks, and pool table. The Man Cave, now open on the corner of Fire Tower and Evans, Greenville.
In studio with Mike Mullis from Fixed NC. And Mike, you guys have a disinfecting service for homes and businesses.
Yes, we have a two-step process that includes disinfecting and also provides 30 days of protection to all surfaces treated. We're doing this for 10 cents a square foot in businesses and $10 a room in your home.
Mike, how can folks get in touch with you?
Call me directly at my cell, 252-999-0001. Again, 3 9s, 3 zeros, and a 1. Or fixednc.com.
Do you think you might have been exposed to COVID-19? Maybe you're planning to visit parents, family, or friends. ArcPoint Labs of Greenville offers same-day COVID-19 results. No referral needed. Same-day results available. ArcPoint Labs of Greenville offers easy solutions to COVID-19 testing. ArcPoint Labs of Greenville is located across from Vidant Hospital on Executive Circle behind Southern Bank. Call for an appointment or walk in. ArcPoint Labs of Greenville, 215-5688 or arcpointlabs.com.
Let's turn a trip to the branch into a tap on your phone. Let's hit pause on a lost debit card without hitting pause on life. That's how First National Bank is redefining convenience with a top-rated mobile app that puts more security and control at your fingertips and friendly people to help you succeed right by your side. Let's get started at fnb-online.com or your local First National Bank. FNB member FDIC.
Hey, this is Jay from Villa Verde. Did you know that Villa Verde opened up its second location? Yes, it's Villa Verde Dos on Arlington Boulevard across the hospital. This new location is a fast, casual environment where you can make your own bowls for only $9.95. Choose from our fresh ingredients from our toppings bars or enjoy an amazing rotisserie chicken. We promise you can be in and out in less than 15 minutes. For a quick, healthy meal at an affordable price, visit us at Villa Verde Dos on Arlington Boulevard. Villa Verde, a platform for good.
Let me tell you a thing or two about the people who don't compromise. For starters, they love a nice, cold Pepsi Zero Sugar. Why? Because it's delicious, it's refreshing, and it has zero sugar. How's that for not compromising? They're the sort of person that likes surf with their turf. Because who decided beef shouldn't have a buddy? And a drink with their feast? Yeah, they have a Pepsi Zero Sugar. The person who doesn't compromise loves a good golden doodle. All the golden retriever goodness with just a hint of doodle. No compromises there. Oh, and when they're bringing said golden doodle for a walk, they bring a Pepsi Zero Sugar. They're the kind of person jorts were made for. 50% jeans, 50% shorts, 100% the most comfortable thing that's ever graced your wardrobe. Not compromising never looked so good. So crack open a Pepsi Zero Sugar and taste what it's like to have it all. Pepsi Zero Sugar. Zero sugar done right. That's what I like.
It's summertime. It's no better time to drive away with the quality pre-owned car, truck from Greenville Auto World. Greenville Auto World is your authorized rough country dealer. We specialize in lift and leveling kits along with custom wheel packages. Whether you're looking for ground clearance or enhancing the appearance of your vehicle, trust in our team to improve your vehicle's off-road experience. Give us a call for more information, 252-364-8730. Greenville Auto World, 3840 South Charles Boulevard across from Hardee's at Bells Fork.
Hey everybody, this is David Glenn, and you're listening to my favorite station in Eastern North Carolina, Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour of PRL is brought to you by the Auto Store Group. Pirate owned and operated for over 38 years. Shop their entire inventory today at theautostoregroup.com. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Hey, keep your vehicle clean with the Pirates Cove Car Wash Fast Pass. All 3 Pirates Cove Car Wash locations are offering Fast Passes for only $9.99 for all new Fast Pass customers. You can visit their other locations in Greenville on 10th Street, Fire Tower Road, and Memorial Drive. Pirate Scope Car Wash, the ultimate car wash experience and the official car wash of ECU Athletics. Now let's head back into Pirate Radio Live. Here's your host, Clip Rock.
Alrighty, fun hour number 3 on this Wednesday with former ECU tight end Bryce Williams. We were talking about the current slate of tight ends for ECU for the 2020 football season, and you've got some size there, Bryce. You've got some youth, and I don't know. I'm starting to become a little excited about that position. It's one that, honestly, since your departure, we just have not had a lot of consistent success at. So hopefully, there's a good one in the tight end room this year.
Yeah, for sure. I was seeing only 3. I was like, wait a second, but then I realized, well, heck, there's only, I guess, technically 2 whenever I play, so I guess it's a little better. Yes, definitely saw some new guys. 2 familiar faces, obviously, was Zach and Jeremy, and the new guy Shane. And I'm anxious, obviously familiar with those guys, but I'm definitely anxious to, be able to get out to a practice as soon as I can, or allowed to, to see the guys, talk with them, and just enjoy watching, the Pirates.
Man, if they could get Zach Bird 1-on-1 with a DB, that's going to be a mismatch. He is a big fella.
He outweighed me by about 25 pounds whenever I played. My goodness, and a little taller. So I would certainly think he'd be utilized in the red zone for sure.
Well, Bryce got it done on the football field. He also gets it done in the outdoors. Shirley, it's time for Pirate Radio Outdoors with Bryce Williams as we find out what Bryce was up to since we've last talked to him last Wednesday. Bryce, what's going on?
Well, yet again, I was able to go back to the beach and fish with my buddy, actually Jake Gary. So we were fishing. Of course, that port wall got the best of me yet again, and I'm sitting there fishing, just drifting right along, and my rod starts burning again.
Not again.
And my head started burning, and the way it was taking off, it was a lot faster. Or you could just feel it was more of a fish rather than a skate or ray, whatever it may have been the previous week. And man, wouldn't you know it, my rod's taking off and trying to gain. I've only got a trout rod, keep that in mind. And that thing just
keep that in mind.
Scooting. And we get off the wall a little bit, and I'm sort of tighten my drag just a little bit to maybe try to wear him down. Well, then he jets to the port wall again, and pow, and my thing line snaps, and I'm just looking at Jake with just a heavy, what is it, heavy, I can't think of the word. a heavy heart.
Yeah.
There we go, with a heavy heart, and
So what do we got to do, man? We got to get better lines, or
I guess whenever I'm drifting the wall, I need to get a bigger rod, and but then again, you're going for flounder, kind of hitting flounder, thinking, all sorts of things you're not expecting for the big drum, because we had, it had to have been a drum the way it was fighting, and he's just not expecting to probably hit a probably 30-some inch drum. Maybe I don't know. I shouldn't have tightened my drag, but I didn't want him to run the port wall and break me off. So I was kind of bummed. And then, but I was able to catch a few fish. Nothing really too crazy.
You didn't get skunked.
I didn't get skunked. We did have some fish on the boat. Jake was able to catch a big flounder, and he was kind enough for the smaller flounder to, I guess, he felt sorry for me and allowed me to take it home to eat it. So
nice.
Thankful to Jake that he fed my belly that night. But yes, that's what we're doing. And actually, I don't think I'll be able to. Well, I'll probably shoot some guns or something this weekend. I got to go to Winston.
Are you not a big dove hunting guy?
Well, that's the thing. I know dove season came in, but I was at the beach. It would have been nice to maybe try Monday evening when I got back. But I was too tired and I didn't end up going. But I am ready to shoot some dang guns.
Oh, yeah.
Where do you go? Where are the doves? Where do you find those at?
Well, if you get permission, you can go to cut corn, pretty much cut corn fields and things like that, open fields, is where, you want to go. Because if you're in a bean field, you maybe catch them passing by, but if you shoot one, good luck finding it in the bean field, because that'd be impossible. So if you just see fields, you see them posted up on the power line.
All right, there you go.
I wasn't scared of trespassing. I could probably go hunt anything where I wanted to, but
you're playing by the rules.
I play by the rules.
That's good. All right, there you go. Pirate Radio Outdoors with Bryce Williams.
Yes, sir.
Sponsored by you. If you'd like to sponsor that great segment, 317-1250.
There we go.
And you could go out on the boat with all your sponsors lined up.
Exactly.
Like a NASCAR driver.
I'll take pictures. I can put on Instagram, you know.
Good stuff. We had somebody, I guess, listening to the to the story there. And oh god. Yes. Bryce, when you and I get it, I'm from Winterville. My dad's a farmer. I grew up around a lot of country talking folks. But like when you really get into it, and I'm like this as well. Like when I'm around country folks, you kind of sound a little inebriated. Yeah, that was the question. When you get going like that, and you start saying those words and slur them together, it does kind of sound like you're drunk. Yeah, it's just the way you talk.
I know. Get me fired up on a subject, and I just kind of ramble on.
So Bryce has not had one yet.
Not yet.
Maybe after the show.
Maybe after the show. Yeah.
All right. Good deal. All right. Well, Bryce, we got NFL. Let's make a pick. Let's do Bryce's weekday pick because we got Thursday night football coming up tomorrow night. The Chiefs are the Super Bowl champions and the home favorite against the Texans coming up on Thursday night. Who's going to take it home?
I guess I'll just go with the pretty much seem to be obvious, the Chiefs. You know, you got Kelsey still there, Patrick Mahomes, so I'm going Chiefs.
That's the easy pick, and I agree with you. I think the Chiefs do win on Thursday night. We'll have Thursday night football for you right here on Pirate Radio, and a big edition of Pirate Radio Live coming your way at 3 o'clock on Thursday. Shirley Chan, great job as always. Bryce, always enjoy it with you, buddy.
Thank you for having me.
We will see you Thursday, 3 o'clock on Pirate Radio Live. So long, everybody.
Thanks for listening to Pirate Radio Live, an exclusive presentation of the voice of the Pirate Nation. This is Pirate Radio.